Alright, hello everybody, it's me, Clock, and today we're going to be playing Date at the Cemetery, a romantic visual novel where we, are down on our luck, we're desperate, we're lonely, and we find this guy to date, and he's taking us to the cemetery. Let's start. Surely nothing could go wrong. Sometimes, dating in Colorado felt harder than it had any right to be. You'd searched in places no one should ever have to search. The garbage. Like speed dating with a guy who looked twice your age and still lived in his mother's basement. Okay, that's... okay. Or maybe it was the endless void of Tinder, where every swipe led to the same dead-end conversations, where it was clear most people only wanted one thing. Once again, I'm getting a very strong vibe that we ain't got no game, bro. What do you mean I ain't got no game? I'm Clock. I get all the peeps. I get guys and girls. You really did try, honestly. But despite all your efforts, you came up empty. What was my efforts, bro? A text message? That was until that night. You went to some overrated, overpriced warehouse party with bad lighting and ear-deafening music. Not exactly your scene, but your friends had practically dragged you there. Put yourself out there, they said. Meet someone new, someone different, they said. And someone different it was. You'd just gone through a messy breakup, and let's face it, far too many nights spent single. You weren't exactly desperate. Oh, I wasn't desperate. Are you sure about that? But it would have been nice. Nice to have someone to talk to. Someone to share a drink with, or maybe something more. Romantically speaking, of course. Segs. And that's how you met... Avon. You met the Avon lady. Oh my god, it's the Avon lady. Oh my god, hello! Wow, Avon lady, you've been working out. Though it wasn't exactly the stuff of fairy tales. Not in some our eyes met across the room kind of way, or love at first sight. If his name is Avon, or her name, I'm not actually sure. I actually didn't look up the gender. I think it's a he. But I'm just gonna be really honest. What are you selling me, bro? Did I curse myself? Do I have to change the chat? Are you gonna stay on the right side? Oh no. You met him face first, practically body slamming him. Slamming him? In your drunken sprint to the bathroom? Hell yeah, just join me in there, bro. Turns out that one shot too many, and your lifelong lightweight status didn't mix too well. Who knew? But instead of brushing you off like any other shitty college guy would, he helped. He actually helped. Wait, you're in college? Well, now I feel like I'm a groomer or something. What the fuck am I, bro? We talked about my bad How old am I? Held your hair back like some knight in a slightly wrinkled flannel that's seen the wash way too many times to count. Okay, where's the flannel shirt, bro? That would have been based. I wear flannel all the time, bro. I love that shit. Made sure you didn't pass out on the cold tile of the bathroom floor as your lunch made its ever so grand reappearance in the toilet. Romantic. He stayed until the room stopped spinning, or at least slowed down a little. Now, normally, you don't give your number out to a random guy you've only known for the duration of a bad life choice. But after someone's literally held your hair while your dignity shot through your mouth, it would have been kind of rude not to. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one, but okay. So here you are, in the car of a guy who helped you while you were involuntarily purging your stomach. What the fuck am I doing here? He's hot. Okay? We're doing all this wordplay. We gave him our number because he's hot, okay? Let's get this one thing straight, chat. He's a hottie, okay? You must have been scowling because you were snapped out of your thoughts by a smooth and soft voice. I can't. Smooth and soft, huh? I want to do the Mickey Mouse voice so bad. No, I'm not going to do it, okay? What are you thinking about? You've got that far off look. Like an angry cat. Was it that obvious? He stifled a small laugh, glancing you over slowly. I won't do you dirty like that, YouTube, okay? Well, now you look confused. Are you planning an escape route or something? He was always so teasing, even over text after the party. Now was no different. You did puke in front of him. I think he gets that. Oh, me? Just thinking about how we met. It was an odd way to meet a date, that's for sure. But you wanted to give it a chance. Ah, the party, right? You could barely remember your own name. Wait, what was it again? Did you actually forget my name, broski? I just realized the music might be a bit loud, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna turn it down a bit. He smirked, clearly teasing. You narrowed your eyes but played along anyway. See, that's a ultimate Rizzler's move because he actually forgot your name. He has so much Riz, he actually tricked you into thinking he didn't forget, but he did forget. But my name's Clock. Right, Clock. Surprised you could remember it. He turned in offense, laughing in shock. Hey, first date and you're still teasing me. He chuckled and rolled his eyes, keeping one hand on the steering wheel. Putting his free hand up, he sighed and feigned defeat. Force of habit, I suppose. I'll have you know I excel at first dates. And hey, you haven't jumped out of the car yet, so that must mean you don't mind it. Kinda like, a knight in shining armor that doubles as a court jester. He said, thinking for a moment, keeping his eyes on the road now. And now I get the honor of spending the night with you. I must be on a roll. You rolled your eyes, but couldn't help the smile tugging at the corner of your lips. His confidence was ridiculous, borderline cheesy, but charming. The soft hum of lo-fi music played in the background, easing some of the tension in your chest. I'm logging puking in my Clock Riz category. It's Riz, chat. It's Riz. Something about... Is his name actually Avon, or is it Avon? Avon? It's Avon. Stop trying to sell me makeup, okay? At ridiculous rates. Avon. Something about Avon. Avon? Avon? I'm gonna say Avon, okay? Avon just sounds not Avon. Avon made it easy to breathe. Made you feel safe. Even from the very beginning, when most people would have just handed you napkins and walked away, he stuck around. Who carries napkins with them? However you want to say, Clock. I'm saying Avon. He always... maybe it's wrong, but if you're old and you know what Avon is, then you don't want that to be Avon. He always felt genuine, even if he was practically a stranger. I do. You concern me. Stay. You into lo-fi. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself, man. Oh yeah. I love lo-fi. Oh yeah, that's the shit. Yep, I love lo-fi. That's like the equivalent of saying I like elevator music. Avon smiled. You seem to like that. Nice, nice. Knew you had good taste. I'm gonna... Okay. Hi. Knew you had good taste. You chuckled. Honestly, Clock, you'd be surprised how many people only listen to it for studying or background noise. But I don't know. I find it calming. Helps clear the mental static a bit. You get me? Yeah, put on that new jabs, boy. Yeah, I can see that. Lo-fi equals Riz. It is the biggest Riz music nowadays. I smiled at him, considering his opinion. I get why you like it. If I told this guy what I was actually into, oh my god, I think he'd have a heart attack, okay? Chat, I'm into Midwest emo. I'm into alternative rock and Midwest emo, if I'm being honest. Lo-fi's not bad, though. He leaned back in his seat, red eyes half closed, as the mellow beat filled the dark car, head bopping gently. So, where exactly are you taking me? A slight smirk played on Avon's handsome face. You'll see. It's a surprise. A surprise. You're not about to murder me in the woods or something, are you? Avon chortled at the idea. What? No, I don't even have a weapon on me. Relax. I saw the knife in the title screen, buddy. I mean, what? The night breeze shifted past you as you took in your surroundings. You stared confused into the void of the unfamiliar parking lot. Wait, this is the surprise? A parking lot? You know, generally speaking, people do have to park in parking lots before they, Did you like the chortle? I That's the best I can imagine. I don't know why anyone would write chortle unless that's the sound they wanted to make, okay? I I do not mean to make fun of this, okay? It's just happening, okay? I'm loving it so far. Wait, this is the surprise? A parking lot? I gave a nervous chuckle, trying not to seem rude. I've never heard of walking outside of a parking lot, you see. Not quite. There's that teasing tone again. We're going there. Avon pointed just beyond the parking lot. There, you saw large gates and a worn stone sign that read, Denver, Colorado Cemetery. Is that the cemetery? Bingo. He looked back at me with a look of pride. You like it? Actually, hell yeah. I like how you think. You're taking me to a cemetery on a date. Not really. It's a bit scary. I'm a little nervous. Okay, wait. I know there's some freakies who were just down to date this guy anywhere. What are we doing at the date? I don't see no picnic basket in your hands, bro. I'm not that easy. You're not getting us that easy. We're not banging in the cemetery day one, okay? Unless you take off your shirt, okay? But anyways. Avon's face fell flat, smile of pride gone. Wow, he really... Okay. He gave you a quick once-over and rolled his eyes. Well, I like it. It's romantic. It's fun. In a mysterious, spooky sort of way, you know? Maybe it's because I'm so horror-themed, you know? Maybe because I play a lot of horror games, I just don't care. Think about it. Peaceful. Quiet. No crowds, just... vibes. Alone. Is he flirting? Is this his attempt at flirting? Oh god, he's flirting. Alert! Avon noticed the sense of disgust on your face. He sighed and shook his head. Just don't knock it till you tried, okay? How condescending. Well, I did just kind of judge him. Okay, but, you know, like, just because you take someone to a cemetery, like, that's equivalent of taking them to a park, you know? Like, it's the same thing. Like, it's like if I took you to a park chat with nothing in my hands, and I just said, why are you upset? We can talk in a park. Except it's dark, and it's a little spooky. You attempt to give a warm smile. Okay. Yeah. Great date idea. Just us and a bunch of dead people. Great, listeners. Avon gestures you to follow him. Come on. It's not as weird as it sounds. Promise. He looks so excited. I mean, I just questioned it. I just wanted to know what his plans were, okay? You and Avon walked along the misty pavement of the parking lot, you slightly behind, shoes crunching the gravel beneath them. As you followed along, it felt as if the path got dimmer and dimmer. The gate ahead looms, like it belongs in some sort of gothic novel. It all felt so off. But only for a moment. A small spider skitters across the toe of your shoe. You freeze, taking in a sharp breath, then continue walking a little stiffer than before. Quickly latched onto Avon's arm without thinking. Avon stiffens in shock as he looks over to you. You okay? Letting go in embarrassment, you sighed with a nervous chuckle. You guys gotta remember, this is a first date too, okay? Yeah, just didn't really expect this kind of vibe tonight. I can see that. His face softened slightly and gave you a gentle smile. Don't worry. I'll make sure you have a good time. Wanna hold my hand? Yeah, we'll hold your hand. Play it cool and keep walking. Make a sarcastic joke instead. It's gonna take all the power from me to not pick this option. We're gonna hold his hand. You gently took his hand with a grateful smile. It's warm and steady, like it's guiding you. I really wanted to make the joke, though. I get you, metalheads. I get you. I get you. I would have done it, but I want to see what this guy does, okay? Something about that brings you comfort. There we go. His genuine smile puts you at ease. I promise not to let any spiders slip under your skin. You laughed at his morbid joke. His touch felt grounding even for a fleeting moment. Appreciated. We can leave that to the corpses. Despite your own joke, you shivered at the thought. Just so gross. You scrunched your face up in playful disgust, your head leaning on his shoulder with a sigh. Yeah. Avon's voice trails off as if he were daydreaming about something. Corpses. The path still feels eerie, but somehow less alone. His thumb rubs against the top of your hand as you walk. It's subtle but comforting. You two continue to walk along the gravel path, the gate behind you fading into the dark. Your eyes travel down to his chest, catching a glimpse of his necklace. You were surprised you didn't see it before. Hey, where'd you get that necklace? Hot topic. Bro, he got his whole fit at Hot Topic. Why do you need to ask? Avon hesitated, tensing up at the sudden question. Such a sudden interest. Well, it was my dad's originally. He was a big Hot Topic fan. As he averts his gaze, the air suddenly feels thicker. Oh, is it real? Like, genuine? Avon snorted at your question. It's not Shein or anything, if that's what you mean. He really did buy this at Hot Topic. It's actually from a cult. Well, that's kind of rude to the workers at Hot Topic, okay, buddy? You stopped in your tracks, taken aback by his statement. Was he in a cult? No, his dad is. What the fuck did you get yourself into? You're in a cult. There's no fucking way, right? Avon laughed at your reaction. Genuine, but now he was slightly guarded. I'd rather shop at Spencer's. I like to look at the big dildos as I walk in. Or in the back. Not in the way that he said he was self-conscious, just as if he was avoiding a really awkward conversation. No, not me. Not by a long shot. He's still laughing. Oh, but your dad. But my dad was. Oh. And you know, the apple doesn't fall too far. I'm not in a cult, but I am a Satanist. Okay. Alright, bro. Okay. Damn, that's kind of cool, honestly. Well, wait, that's boring. I mean, you're so quirky. Yeah. Okay. MC, you're kind of based for this. Wait, it's like Satanist under your breath. God, what a red flag. Okay, I'm gonna go with that's cool. That's cool. You know, I think it's cool to have a religion. That's cool. That's kind of cool, honestly. Mysterious with a dash of daddy issues. Avon paused, watching you for a moment as a smile slowly creeped on his face. His voice was low, very amused at your response. Be like, nah, I don't want religion right now. Exactly the vibe I was going for. You know, if I was in high school, you would have won my heart already. Avon laughed and leaned in close, a content smile on his face. You get it. Most people don't. They don't always like it. Somehow you two felt closer now. Not just physically. I like people who aren't afraid of things like that. It's rare, you know. Really rare. His eyes lingered on you a second too long, as if he were weighing something behind them. He gave you a smile, one that almost felt too gentle. Honestly, that may be what I see in you. Why I took you out here. Let's be for real. No one would just go on some date with a stranger they met 2 days ago at a warehouse party. Are you okay in the head? Yeah, they would. That's literally what we're doing. But yeah, they would. That's kind of how it works. But I think you see people, you know? The words feel flattering, intimate even, but there's something heavy beneath them. Chat, how do you go on dates? What, do you not meet people and go on dates with them? Really? You look at him with bright eyes. You think that about me? He smiled at his words. Mm-hmm. Unless I'm wrong, of course. There's that playful tone again. I guess we'll learn that together then, won't we? Avon turned his face away, hiding behind his fringe. though you could hear his breath hitch slightly. Deciding to change the topic, you cleared your throat. As you walk beside Avon, your eyes drift downward to his collar, drawn by the way his fingers toy with the pendant around his neck. It's a St. Peter's cross, dangling loosely from a blackened chain. He's pinching it between his thumb and index, rubbing it in slow circles like it soothes him. Wait, QPC? How much do you get? How much do you pull? You must be pulling boys and girls so hard. But it's not the necklace that's keeping your gaze this time. It's his hands. The skin around his nails is torn, raw, jagged, like he's been picking or biting at for a while. Ugh, don't do that, bro. That's nasty. I know a dude who bit his nails all throughout high school, and now his nails are like black and disgusting. Like they're like actually like really fucked up. And they will never go back to normal, I think, even if he pulls them, I think he said. I think he had to get one of them pulled. Your hands. What happened? He freezes for half a second, just long enough for you to notice. Then he exhales a small laugh, too sharp to be casual. That. Did that sound natural to you guys? He keeps walking, but shoves his hands into his pockets as if he were a child caught with his hands in the cookie jar. I bite them. Sometimes. When I'm stressed. Or thinking too much. I happen to like my nails. Did you bite them a lot? I mean, to be fair, when I say black, they're not like painted black. They're like, that's a good laugh. Well, they did say sharp, high-pitched laugh. That was not natural, so. First, he's chortling. I like to think of him as like that guy who looks like super fucking handsome. You ever see that? Like a super handsome or pretty girl, pretty guy, and then they laugh, and it's the funniest fucking laugh. They're like, hee-haw, hee-haw. Like, you know? I can already imagine that this is him. He does that. He hee-haws, you know? He does a really funny laugh. Which is always great, because it makes everybody else laugh too. His tone shifts slightly. It's quieter. Distant. Like the words are drifting somewhere darker than he's currently willing to show you. You nod, the path crunching under your steps, and don't press further. Stop being mean to Ghost. Ghost, do you laugh like that? That's so fucking funny. Danger of biting nails is less about harming your nails and more about damaging your teeth and spreading bacteria from your hands to your mouth. For sure, for sure. You will also just, if you keep doing it, get some really fucked up nails on your hands, okay? Like, I'm sorry. It's just the truth. Like, I've seen it. And, you know, luckily for some people, they don't give a fuck. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't really care either. He's still my friend. But it'd just be a constant reminder, oh yeah, I bit my nails a fuck ton, and now I can't even do that anymore. You want to ask what too much means. But something tells you don't really want the answer. So instead, you walk beside him in silence, Avon humming softly under his breath, the pendant still swinging from his neck like a pendulum ticking down to something awful. The soft curve of the cemetery path crunched beneath your feet as the silence between your steps grew lighter. I'm sure this will go fine, right? Like, he's nice, he's considerate, he's a little creepy. I think he's got everything he needs to be a good boyfriend. As the path faded into patchy grass, most importantly, he's hot, you notice something just ahead, laid out like a dream. A blanket, snacks, and a couple drinks, all neatly placed in a clearing between old headstones. Holy shit, we're robbing people. Nice. You paused in front of the admittedly romantic display. Wait, was this already here? Oh my god, we're gonna rob people. When did he have time for that? Avon glanced over with a crooked smile as if caught. Yeah, I, like to be prepared. Yeah, really prepared. You started the picnic ahead in surprise. How long did it take for him to do this? Let's go, dude. Nice surprise. That's what I'm saying, man. If you go into the cemetery, you at least gotta have like a little picnic, you know? He gave you a charming smile, taking your hand, guiding you to the blanket. He sat with his legs stretched out comfortably, hands falling behind him like this was routine. Although, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't have waited to show the other person. Because I feel like 99% of individuals would probably have been like, take me home now. If you pull out a picnic basket out of the car, then they'll be like, oh my god, that's still so sweet. Like, I think you still get the same result without also scaring the person that you're with. Like, you could still make it a surprise showing up to the cemetery, but, like, also be like, hey, by the way, this is what we're doing here. Ready for the regurgitation? I'm staying either way. Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, for some, if you're hot enough, it doesn't matter. He gave you a charming smile, taking your hand, guiding you to the blanket. He sat with his legs stretched out comfortably, hands falling behind him like this was routine. Over the years, I've gotten used to setting things up in advance. It's a habit of mine. It's a good habit. Sometimes I don't always get much time to plan, so when I can, I make it count. His voice dipped lower, like he was remembering something. But he didn't elaborate, and you weren't sure if it was really your place to push. You slowly sat beside him, still eyeing the picnic-like setup. So, what is all this, anyway? You nod to the blanket and the small spread of food and drinks laid out. You like being scared? Oh, we could do taxes together. Are you trying to romance me or put me into a food coma? You inched closer to Avon, getting comfortable. Avon chuckles, getting comfortable in his position, but not pulling away. Like I said, it works. It works. I just think the same effect could have been had if you just walked with the picnic basket. A little of both, maybe. Let's see. Taxes is too scary? All these girls lying to you, by the way. Okay? To everybody in the chat, you saw it here first. They're always like, I want to be scared. Then when you show something scary, they run away. Avon reached out to grab a bag of chips. He used his Grover blanket. Nice. We've got chips, plain and spicy, sweet and sour candy, a couple homemade pastries, sweet ones, nothing fancy. Letting go of the item in his hand, he taps the small cooler near the center. Then water, juice, soda, and a few energy drinks if you're into that. You made the pastries? Avon grinned. What, you think I'm all graveyards? I can bake. Call me the emo Pillsbury boy. He chuckles to himself. Badly, but it still counts. You glance at the food again, then back to him, an appreciative smile on your lips. This is actually really thoughtful. Like I said, I like to be prepared. You should never forget that. So, drinks. What's your pick? Water, gotta stay hydrated. Juice sounds good. Soda, classic choice. Who the fuck says soda, bro? It's a pop. Energy drink. I live dangerously. Well, what would you pick? I mostly want to know what he's gonna pick. Gatorade. Nah, dude. Where's the coffee at? Where the coffee at, bro? Even iced. I'd even take an iced coffee. Can I get a hydrate check? And that's with water, okay? Ugh, I love water. No boba? Okay, bro. Unrealistic standards? He's already hot. He's got like 5 options, and you're like, boba tea, though? Oh, never. Ghost, I found where he's keeping them. You just gotta go down there. Here, wait, where's it? Capture. Where's my, oh, it's not capturing my mouse. It's there in his pants. It's there in his pants, chat. You can't see it. I'm mousing over it, okay? Go down there. Boom, bada bing. Now, there's the balls that you suck on, okay, Ghost? There's the boba. Energy drink is close to coffee. I'm gonna pick the, well, what would you pick? I feel like he'll find that boring, but whatever. Well, what would you pick? He lifts a can of juice, grinning. Juice or water. Simple. Keeps the hands steady and the mind clear. Plus, energy drinks make my head hurt. Not exactly a fan. Couldn't hold back the look of concern on your face. He raises an eyebrow at your expression, playfully amused. Didn't expect that, did you? What? I have to... Dude, don't be a bitch. Dude, it took away my options, man. Took away my options. Even based? honestly, it's a little concerning that energy drinks make him, like, dizzy or whatever. I've never had that. If anything, I feel better. But I'll go with water, because I do enjoy water. Gotta stay hydrated. Reach over and grab a bottle of water, twisting the cap. Can't fall into a grave from dehydration, right? Okay, now I feel like the music got a little too quiet. Avon smirks and lifts his own water bottle in a mock toast. Didn't he get juice? Respect. Most people forget how fire water is. Okay. Alright. Avon takes a long sip of his own drink, as do you. Ah, that hits the spot. Look, chat, water's great. I love water, okay? Water is not a fired... I love water, okay? It's actually a big part of my channel, if you're new here, that we drink a lot of water. And I will always say there's nothing as refreshing as a cold cup of water when you're hot, okay? It's the best. If you say water's your favorite drink, I'm pegging you for the most boring person ever, okay? I'm just gonna I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It's like saying my favorite food is white bread, okay? Worse. It's like saying my favorite food is white rice. No seasoning, white rice, okay? No, man, I'm sorry, okay? And I drink mostly water. I don't drink much else, but it's all right. It's good. It's very good. It's very good, okay? You looked over the rest of the setup, eyeing the snacks laid out. Okay, be honest. Are you trying to be romantic or just fatten me up for a ritual sacrifice? What's wrong with white rice? Nothing. I just don't think we'd mesh well, okay? That's all I'll say. I don't think to be fair, I'm a cook. I like a lot of stuff. There's a lot of simple stuff I like. But there's just some stuff that's like it's like worse than an ingredient. It's like worse than saying you like just a base ingredient, okay? Avon grins at your question. Don't cry over it. Lounging back on his hands without breaking eye contact. Can't it be both? I think that's the best kind of romance. He waves a hand over the snacks. Alright, menu time. Sweet candy, that one's calling to me. Sour candy, I like the pain. How sour is it, bro? What did you buy? The nuclear bomb stuff? Nuclear waste? Pastries? I mean, you baked? Now I have to judge you. Chips, safe and salty, yummy too. I gotta go with the pastry, bro. You literally baked it. It would be rude of me not to pick. Otherwise, I would have picked the sour candy. I love me some Sour Patch Kids, okay? I've personally never felt pain eating anything sour, though. So I guess I'm just built different, okay? But yeah, I love pastries. I need to vomit on clock again to re-engage the match. Oh my god, I love you. Pastries. I mean, you baked? Now I have to judge you. Take one of the small, uneven pastries and raise a brow. Avon smirks, but looks a bit self-conscious. Come on now. Be gentle. They were made during a psychotic episode or two. Despite his slightly concerning comment, you take a bite. It's actually good, soft, sweet, and surprisingly not a crime against humanity. Lemon slices are a great snack. No. No, they're not. No. 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 It's actually good, soft, sweet, and surprisingly not a crime against humanity. Oh, that's good, there's no cards in this. It's impressive for someone who sucks at baking. Avon hums, proud of himself. As time passed, are you pregnant? Why are you eating lemons? Ugh. As time passed, you ate snacks and spoke about various things. Sometimes it was about nothing, sometimes it was about an actual topic. But overall, you were both enjoying yourselves in each other's company. He looks bored out of his fucking mind. Couldn't help but wonder, though. How do you even get in here? Aren't you worried about getting caught or something? Nervous of the idea of a security guard catching you both out here. Avon chuckled, rubbing his shoulder. Not really. Trespassing's never been a big deal to me. Back when I was younger, some friends and I used to sneak into way worse places. Yo, thanks for gifting Caddy Boy a sub and Uxius, much appreciated. Abandoned factories, rooftops, train yards. All of those things generally don't have security guards. Avon's gaze shifted to the side for a moment. A few houses, too. He laughed to himself, as if he were just harmless nostalgia. We got into a bunch of other illegal shit. Still do sometimes. You eyed him with a wary look, brows raising. But he just grinned wider. Wait, what? What does that have to do with being preggo? Your boy just likes sour food and vitamin C? You're empregged. It's like when a woman tells you, they're like, man, I'm really craving a peanut butter and pickle sandwich. And then you're like, oh, okay, here's a pregnancy test, by the way. We don't even need one, actually. You're just pregnant. Relax. It's not why we're here tonight. I was here earlier to do that. He gestured loosely to the graves around you. I actually work here. Funeral home side of it. Or morgue, depending on what sounds spookier to you. So they don't really care when I come out in or out, as long as I don't piss anyone off. You know, dig up a grave or mess with a coffin or two. He laughed again like it was a joke. You weren't sure it was. You tilted your head. Thanks for the free pregnancy test. No worries, homie. Let's get it aborted. You tilted your head, taking that in. Most people wouldn't go near a morgue, let alone work in one, but he seems unfazed. The real twist is they just like peanut butter and pickles. Yeah, that's true too. You work in a morgue? For how long? Avon hummed thoughtfully. 5 years. Would have started sooner, but I got caught up in some things after high school. Why were we both at a college party? Avon sat upright, gazing at the full moon. The morgue doesn't bother you? Or are you, like, the receptionist or something? That made him actually laugh. No, I do the full works. Embalming, cleaning, prepping, down to the nitty-gritty. Death doesn't really bother me. Never has. He looked at you, and for a second something flickered behind his eyes. It's all natural anyway. Plus, he bit his lip slightly, a slight glint in his expression. I quite like it. You like death. Then why don't you just go die about it? You hesitated. Or your job. He giggled, quiet and low, leaning back on his elbows and turning his face away from yours. Both. Okay. We're just having a nice chit-chat. That's honestly fascinating. Not many people can handle death so closely. Okay, that's kind of a weird thing to be into, not gonna lie. Wow, so not only are you a corpse stylist, you're like a hot Grim Reaper. Yeah, that one. He's like, he does not understand our Riz chat. Avon burst into genuine laughter, falling back onto the blanket with a soft thud. Ha! God, that's a first. He turned his head to look at you, a warm, if slightly wicked grin still on his lips. But yeah, I guess I am the hot ambassador of death in a way. Okay, my boy Grimmy from A Date with Death would like to talk to you, okay? He giggled at the idea. I should put that on a resume. You laughed too, though part of you still wondered if he'd actually put that on his resume. The silence between you grows. It's not hostile, but cautious. You glance at him, watching the way he stares ahead, expression unreadable now. The blanket is spread out in the grass, the soft clink of drink bottles, the faint rustle of candy wrappers, and the hum of distant wind fill the air. Wow, all this eating has me thinking. I haven't really asked too much about you, besides work and you saving my ass from further embarrassment. Avon leans back on his hands, giving you a slow grin. Oh yeah, common hobby of mine. But besides parties, cemeteries, and, saving drunks. He side-eyed you for a moment, stifling a laugh. I've actually got some surprises up my sleeve. Like collecting old trinkets, exploring abandoned buildings, watching banned or illegal films. Ooh. Ooh, I don't... Nah. Stuff like that. Okay, if you're talking snuff films, bro, I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with those, okay? He seems proud of his spread of hobbies, a smile stretched on his face. I'm not gonna lie, that is my one thing, man. That's weird. You seem like the grimy type, huh? There's a low hum in Avon's throat. Actually, I really like cleaning. Like, obsessively. But you do work in a morgue, so... Back when I was still with my dad, he kind of stopped giving a damn. So I picked up around the house. Can you guys not play house in my chat right now? You're concerning me. Stop that, you. Ugh, shivers. That was a turnoff. Sorry, we're done. Okay, it kind of was. It kind of gave me the ick. If I'm being honest, if someone looked me in the eye and said, "Ooh, I like illegal banned films." The only illegal banned films I can really think of are like snuff films. And if you don't know what a snuff film is, I really hope you never have to find out. But if you do know what they are, that should be a big red flag. It's a bit creepy. You know, I could live with a lot of it, but snuff films, that's just gross. Like, no. Like, no. I'd say it's a good hobby for a mortician, you know? Just another part of the job. Wow, polar opposite interests, huh? You breathed in mild amusement as Avon raised a brow like you challenged him. What? No. I have more normal hobbies, too. He shifts, turning fully towards you, the corner of his mouth pulling into a smirk. You probably caught on that I liked lo-fi earlier, but I also mess with making candles. It's pretty fun. That and I go up in the mountains pretty often to ski or snowboard. Nice! Man, do I love it. Just the wind, speed, the crunch of the snow. It's dangerous, sure, but that's what I like about it. You listen to him with interest, smiling as he spoke about his hobbies. Avon smiles back before averting his eyes. Yeah, but that's that he dicks. He clicks his tongue in thought, voice soft and unsure. Yeah, the mountains are kind of my thing. You tilt your head, about to respond, but Avon opens his mouth first. You cut him off. Snuff films are the most part fake and used to make monies. Yeah, but the person buying them isn't, they're not buying them because they think they're fake. That's what I'll say about that. And there are ones that are not fake. So, even more constant. I personally speaking, look, you can put on Saw, you can put on Final Destination, you know, super gory movies, okay? I'm fine with that because we have the expectation that it's all fake, you know, make believe. But when you go out of your way to buy something that, even if it might turn out to be fake, that you have the intention of buying something that was real, that's when I start to go, I'm gonna kill you. Oh, I'm sorry. Why are you in a cemetery? Oh, we're in the Appalachian mountain range. Don't worry, something horrible's gonna happen. He blinks, then chuckles, waving you forward to go ahead. No, go first. You nod slightly before speaking teasingly. So, candles. Never would have thought someone like you would be into making candles. It helps a lot with his satanistic rituals, actually. Avon laughs, eyes flicking away with a sheepish smile. Yeah, the doctors say it's nice to have a soothing, calming hobby. What? He looks back at you, catching your shocked expression, then bursts into laughter. I'm joking. Rolling his eyes, he continues, his tone softer now. When I was younger, my baby sister, Arden, actually loved them. It was a nice distraction from, well, our parents constantly bickering. His fingers tap idly on the blanket as he speaks, like he was keeping count of his thoughts. I used to just watch her and my mom make them. Avon's face loosened in melancholy. Honestly, I thought it was dumb at the time. Candles. Who'd care, right? He exhales through his nose with a nostalgic smile. Then one night she had to make one for school, show and tell. Mom was working late, Dad refused to help. So there I was in the kitchen, trying to make sure she didn't get burned by the wax. He shook his head quietly, lips parting only slightly before swallowing the emotion that threatened to come out. Instead, he murmured and laughed. She's only 2 years younger than me, but I knew my parents would kill me if I let her hurt herself, so I helped, and I just kept the hobby since then. You hummed an acknowledgement and he coughed to wave off any lingering awkwardness. Awah. Awah. Though it wasn't awkward for you at all, he must have felt that way himself. You smiled fondly at his awkwardness, finding it endearing. You shifted uncomfortably, letting out a shiver and curling in slightly, hands wrapping around yourself as you huffed out a warm breath of air. I didn't dress as warm as I thought I did. Oh well. You laughed small and breathy, trying to downplay the visible shiver that ran up your spine. Sincerely, Butler is like, I know he just said snuff films are cool, but like, did you see his eyelashes though? Motherfucker, he's gonna chop you up and film it. Avon snickered quietly. Well, there's an extra blanket. He reaches over in front of you to grab it on the other side of the makeshift picnic and hands the soft roll of cloth to you without a word. Valid gender envy. I always find that guys always have I have like long lashes as a guy too. Like it's one of the first things whenever people look at my eyes, they usually tell me, "Oh yeah, really nice long lashes." And I'm like, don't say that. I'm like, don't stare. Gently taking it, you bring the fabric to your face, inhaling the scent without thinking about it. It was nice, soft, and inviting. Honey, even. Unrolling it, I feel like guys just get them, right? Unrolling it, you tugged it around your shoulder slowly, cuddling into it before holding open the other end for Avon. Avon's body stiffened as he realized what you were offering. What? Get in here. Okay. Avon crawled over into the blankets, settling in close enough to feel each other's warmth. Clock has the bishy eyeballs. What the hell does that mean? You couldn't help but let out a giggle at his flustered and awkward state. Oh, bye. Good night, Killer Cat Black. Bye. So, does the blanket smell nice? You looked at him, face red in embarrassment. Yeah, sorry. Avon chuckles. Don't worry about it. I'm glad you like it. I try to keep everything smelling nice, you know? House, car, myself, and even blankets, I guess. Bishonen? Bishonen. Oh, okay. You both fell into a small fit of giggles. Though, some people say walking to my house is like walking to a Bath and Body Works. Ooh. I kind of hate that. Have you guys, like, I kind of like it for like 10 seconds, but after like 10 seconds, I get like a headache in Bath and Body Works. You guys feel that? You guys understand? He let out a giggle snort at his own joke. This was nice. It was weird that despite everything, you still laughed. But the mind has an odd way of handling things. I was gonna say green flag too, but not anymore. I mean, it's good. I don't think it's bad to, like, you know, use perfumes and stuff. It's bad when it's like too many different, too many different ones that are like strong. So he probably just has like, he probably lights like different candles around his house and like leaves them on, and they're probably like perfume scents. Nah, that was nice. It was weird that despite everything, you still laughed. But the mind has an odd way of handling things. Maybe it was the blanket or the way Avon said it. Oh, I love Lush. At least he didn't say Lush. Wait. I like Lush. Yeah, I like Lush. To be fair, they're usually not too bad. Although one time I went to Lush and they had like a promotion thing. It was for Minecraft. It was for motherfucking Minecraft. And I'm not gonna lie, I died. Well, hey. There's nothing wrong smelling like a candle aisle. The wind carried the soft rustle of tree branches, and in the distance, the quiet chirp of crickets tried to fill the silence of the cemetery. For a moment, things felt peaceful. Avon's smile tightened in playful joy. I think that's the nicest insult I've gotten all week. You hummed in acknowledgement. But I'll have you know that scent is called Midnight Smoke and Cedarwood. Thank you very much. Oh, cedarwood! I'm more of a fan of sandalwood, but, you know, cedarwood is good. Very masculine. Very mysterious. I like incense, but I use nothing because of kitties. Yeah, it's not great. You burst into a quiet laugh, muffled slightly by the blanket. Really? Thought it was vanilla and cherry blossoms. He rolled his eyes, but the corners of his mouth curled up into a smile. Ha ha. I don't know. I guess I like the idea of comfort. It's nice when everything else isn't. Feels safe, you know? Well, I guess that's true, and it's working. The smell, the blanket, the smell, the whole dead people picnic vibe. Kind of cozy in its own way. He turned towards you, his smile softening, eyes meeting yours. Yeah. He paused for a moment, genuinely curious, his hand reaching out slowly, settling on the curve of your cheek. You feel safe with me? You paused, feeling his eyes on yours. The question lingered in the air, not heavy, just delicate. I want to force him into a gothic corset. You think he's not wearing one? Bro, this is the most femboy goth guy I've ever seen. Did I say that? Not heavy, just delicate. You didn't flinch. Instead, you gave a small laugh as heat rose up your neck, tilting your head. You looked toward him with a half smile. I mean, so far you haven't pushed me into a grave, so that's promising. You weren't sure if you fully believed yourself, but better safe than sorry. Even let out a low chuckle, shaking his head at your joke. Such high praise. What can I say? My standards are dangerously low. Avon's eyes glanced off to the side, a smirk pulling at his lips. Well, you did give me your number after throwing up. Hey, it was out of kindness of my heart. Plus, probably the closest thing to a fairy tale in the city. Or nightmare. You wondered what he meant by that, but decided not to push and brushed it off with a laugh. Have one too many of those to count. But seriously, this place is kind of weirdly pretty at night. I didn't think I'd ever say that about a cemetery. Avon sat up for a moment to properly lay on his side and face you. Yeah, it's quiet. Peaceful. Plus, no one ever complains about the music or other sounds. He laughed, pushing his shoulder. Ew, haha. Calming down, you sighed. So this is your idea of a romantic evening, huh? Smirking, he nodded. Dead silence, a cozy blanket, and probably a ghost or two. Classic. You shook your head, laughing softly at his ghost comment. Stupid. The shift in tone was welcome, like slipping back into a familiar rhythm, and for now neither of you dug any deeper. Two of you sat in the stillness, your shoulder nearly brushing Avon's. So, tell me something. What do you do when you're not judging people's candle scent choices? Ow! What the hell's wrong with you? Don't hit me. What do you do when you're not judging people's candle scent choices and getting dragged to graveyards by questionable men? Yo, have a good night, Raymosa? He smirked, pulling the blanket tighter like it helped you think. You mean besides silently questioning my life choices? Avon grinned with a chuckle, leaning into you. Well, yeah. I mean, I've got hobbies, sort of. I read, sometimes. Draw a little, exploring here and there. Spiral emotionally on the weekends. The usual. Avon laughed, looking up at the sky. Oh yeah, can't forget those. Can't forget those. I'm not gonna lie though, bro. I'm playing a visual novel. Why didn't I say a game, bro? Why didn't we say we game? You both shared a snicker before falling into a comfortable silence. So, do you like Colorado? Do you like Colorado? That's fucking hilarious. Small talk time, I guess. Avon blinks as if the question caught him off guard, then he lets out a breath and chuckles. That's a sudden shift. Yeah, well, not everything has to be about death and trauma, right? It's really fucking up his vibes, actually. He tilts his head, considering you for a moment, then his expression softens. Just a bit. Fair enough. Yeah, I like it. The cold's a bitch, but the mountains make up for it. Have you always lived here? Avon shook his head. Nah, I was actually born in Mexico. Mexico? Really? He hummed in confirmation. Mm-hmm. Near Mexico City. My mom moved us up here when I was about 4. Said the air was cleaner. He rolls his eyes at that, clearly quoting. Not sure if she meant that metaphorically or literally, but here we are. Honestly, I hate living in Colorado. You could be in worse places, okay? You nod, slowly taking that in. Do you remember anything from back there? Bits and pieces. The language stuck more than the place, though. I barely use it now. There's a moment of silence again, but this one feels easier. Less like a pressure, more like a shared pause. Avon takes a sip of his drink before speaking. What about you, Clock? Born and raised, or did you crawl out of some haunted crypt nearby? You know, wouldn't you like to know, Grave Boy? Nope, moved back here a while back. Born and raised, boring, I know. Is it boring to be born and raised in Colorado? Wouldn't you like to know, Grave Boy? This is the best I can do to tease him, okay? Avon nearly spits up his drink and laughs, amused. Did you just quote a meme? He snickers. But damn, Grave Boy. Cute. I'm flattered. It is boring! Brother, it's boring to be like in any part of the world. Especially if you don't do the things that you can do. Like he said, bro, go snowboarding on the mountain. You glance at him and his eyes are already on you. Mischief there, but something else too. Something searching. Strange, isn't it? What is? How nice it is talking with you. Rude! Despite not really knowing each other. You nodded in agreement. He was opening up, but so were you. It was nice. He hummed in thought. Are you normal? I don't think anyone is, really. Yeah, just gotta look hard enough. Avon's eyes glanced you over, giving you an expectant look as his eyebrows raised ever so slightly. But then he looked away, foot tapping in thought. I mean, I know I'm not. Avon giggles for a moment, softer this time. I fully get people pretending they are. I would be a hypocrite if I didn't. Just wish I didn't have to. It can be tiring. He speaks of normalcy like it's a bitter word on his tongue. I don't think you're so bad. Abnormal is refreshing. Normal is overrated anyways, dude. Yeah, exactly. Avon raises an eyebrow, intrigued. His grin is crooked, too pleased. You know, I think you're right. I kind of think people try too hard to be normal, to put on a mask. But I like being myself. Your words brought warmth to his chest as he relaxed. Yeah, me too. Avon thought for a moment. I was thinking, and I find it surprising still. You, still here, talking to me, even listening. But I think I get it now. He smiled appreciatively. You two sat in silence for a moment, watching as the gray clouds passed by the wind of Colorado passing you by. I was thinking about the whole thing with your family, and I can't help but be a little jealous. Avon looked at you in concern, his eyebrows raising in shock for a moment. Quickly realized your own words and stammered to clarify. Oh, whoa, no, I mean like, you and your sister. My bad. Avon nodded with a small, huh, and thought for a moment. Well, do you have any siblings? You waved off the idea. Oh, no, but it would be fun if I did. Avon chuckled. Yeah. You lay beside him, eyes drifting once more to the inverted cross pendant resting on his chest. St. Peter's cross glints faintly under the moonlight. I feel like he's got mixed feelings, but he loves his sister, I think. You hesitate, then speak softly. You've talked about your dad a little, but not much about your mom, or your family in general besides the candle stuff. Avon's gaze doesn't leave the sky. His thumb instinctively moves to the pendant, pressing it lightly. My dad, you already know. Cult stuff, anger, the whole cocktail. My mom wasn't really around. Not fully. Avon huffed through his nose in the memory. She had this affair with a man. Not like some midlife crisis either. It was long, ongoing. My dad knew. She never left him, though. Eventually she did. Not legally, of course. They're still married on paper. Isn't that something? Either desperate to escape my father or desperately in love. I never knew. Still don't. At the time, I was too young to really understand. Shaking his head, he continued as you listened with soft eyes. I'm trauma fishing? I am. She did eventually have a kid, though, when I was about 2, right before we moved here. Things were fine, and I didn't suspect a thing. Too young to. Please tell me the twist isn't. Then, my dad got more violent. Angry. Drunk. Abusive. He chuckles, humorless. I tried so hard to make her happy again. I would stay up all night, doing my homework, studying, getting the best grades. She always stressed the importance of it. Would say things like, "Don't worry about mommy, Habibi." Habibi? Don't worry about mommy, Habibi. Just focus on your studies and I'll be fine. Avon laughed sadly. Habibi! Wow, based. I believed her. Thought that even when she was getting the lights knocked out of her, my grades of all things would fix it. Man, was I naive. Damn. Now I'm just trying to think. Okay. So, his parents are clearly Mexican, and the fact that he just said Habibi makes me think one of them is, you know, I don't hear Mexican people say that word too often. So his parents are Mexican and Muslim, or maybe just Middle Eastern. Habibi. Middle Eastern. Let's say Middle Eastern. And you're telling me they're a part of a Satanist cult. It's always the white people. That's my surprise. It's always the white people, bro. It's always the white people, the Satanists. I like this story. I like this story. We're really mixing it up, you know? Satanists are getting all inclusive. I like that. Avon sighed as you listened. My sister. Half-sister. Whatever. Mom took Arden and ran when I was around 10. Left me with my dad like I was part of the problem. Or just too much effort to pack up. Can you believe the guy actually moved up here too? Avon rolled his eyes at the thought. She'd check in sometimes, bring groceries, see how I was doing, or when I got in trouble, but my dad barely cooked. When I was about 14, she hardly came around anymore, more like once every other month. Dad didn't give a fuck either, probably too drunk to. Sometimes just too sadistic to. I went hungry a lot, ate spoiled or raw food until I finally taught myself how to cook. Money wasn't the issue. It's not like we were broke. They just stopped caring. My dad raised me to be detached, I guess. Like emotions were weakness. He wanted me to be just like him. Occasionally put his hands on me and talk down to me like I was scum. Probably the worst thing he could have done. Never really saw how much damage that shit caused. Oh, he saw it, don't worry. But watching him beat my mom. Avon spaced out as if disassociating. Yeah, I left a scar big enough on its own. He didn't say anything at first, just let the trauma dump settle between you. Avon stared ahead, eyes unfocused. We did ask for this. We were fishing for trauma. Avon stared ahead, eyes unfocused, jaw clenched but not angry, just distant, lost in memory. The wind moved through the cemetery trees again, brushing through branches and stone like the dead were listening. He spoke quietly. You okay? He blinked like he'd forgotten you were there, head turning slightly towards you, then away. Yeah, I'm good. He let out a quick breath, shaking his head lightly as if trying to snap himself back, pulling the blanket that was wrapped between you both closer into his body. Shit, sorry, Clock. That probably got a lot deeper than you expected, huh? He smiled, trying to lighten the mood, but it was more like a mask than anything. It's okay. You kept your tone steady as you smiled. I don't mind. For a moment, his shoulders relaxed. Not much, but it was enough. So, what about your sister, Arden? Avon glanced at you, brow furrowing just a little. What is wrong with MC, bro? My sister. We're not that close anymore. No shit, man. Did you not pick up on that? Oh, really? Brother, he just said they split up when they were like 10. Avon hesitated for a moment, eyes drifting away from you again, looking at an old and cracked headstone. Am I an idiot? It's not because I don't want to be. It's probably just better this way. His thumb rubbed absent-mindedly into the blanket. We text a lot, though. Talk here and there, send memes, pretend things are normal. Gave a small, hollow chuckle. Anything but that, huh? Yep. I think I just wish we'd had a real childhood. Like one of those cliche ones with bike rides and birthday parties and, I don't know, warm kitchens or something. Sort of like the Hallmark movies. He shook his head gently with a scoff, like he should push the image away before it got too vivid. Oh, I know you'd be watching those Hallmark movies. I know you'd be watching those rom-coms, Mr. Dark and Mysterious. I know you're sitting down watching 5 rom-coms in a row with a tub of ice cream. She used to visit when I was younger, after she and Mom left. Sometimes she'd stay a few nights, sometimes a few weeks. Used to count the days until she'd come back. I mean, yeah, she's your sister. His voice got more distant now as he swallowed thickly. I got really attached. Mentally, I mean. Probably more than I should have. He seemed to struggle to look at you after that, staring down into his hands. Rom-coms are good, can't blame him? That's a statement. Anyway, we hang out now and then. Grab food, walk around. It's good. Just... Look, I love rom-coms, okay, bro? I love them. I love rom-coms, okay? I love rom-coms. Are they good? Sure. Anyway, we hang out now and then, grab food, walk around. It's good. Just not the way I imagined it when I was a kid. He exhaled slowly. Bonk you again, don't test me. Keep sharing your opinion. Back then, I thought that when I got older, we'd just fix it all somehow. Well, do you have any friends? What the hell? Ouch. How mean. He laughed, giving him an apologetic smile. But yeah, I do. Though I'm not sure if you could call all of them friends. This is a very interesting visual novel. Tell me about your high school friends, your acquaintances, your childhood friends, your close friends. Tell me about your... I don't give a fuck about all these people. Just tell me about the friends that you know now. Tell me about your close friends now, period. Tell me about your close friends. Like, no offense, but why would I give a fuck about your friends that you're not friends with anymore? Like, right now, at least. I've got a little circle. Not many people know about them. Not really. Just a handful of friends, if you could call them that. That's all anyone really needs. They're the ones I can actually be myself around. No masks, no filters, no judgment. That shit's rare. Some of them are worse than me, honestly, in different ways. Sick, twisted people. The kind of people who should have been locked away years ago if the world gave a damn. We've all done things no one should talk about out loud. Stuff that should have landed us behind bars or 6 feet under. But it didn't. It never does. And when I'm with them, I feel unchained. Like the violence in my chest finally has somewhere to go. It excites me, keeps me sharp, alive. But also weirdly accepted. Holy fuck, you really are in a cult, aren't you? He laughed, not wanting to let off more than necessary. Let off more than necessary? You just told me you and your friends are a bunch of criminals. I don't talk about them too much, so maybe another day. But I will say this. I introduced Xander to them once. Thought maybe, just maybe, he'd fit in. That was optimistic. They scared him. Who the fuck is Xander? Especially after that cat. You looked at him in curiosity. A cat. Yeah. We killed a cat. Right in front of him. Ah, you're just a giant piece of shit. Oh, okay, awesome. What the fuck? Avon jumped in to defend himself. A mistake, really. Avon looked to the side as if he was hiding something. Xander wanted nothing to do with them after that. Avoided me for weeks. West, though. West was easier. He's wired for adrenaline. Doesn't even need a reason. If there's a rush, he's in. Tursk hated that. Always tried to keep him out of our mess. But when Tursk wasn't looking... Who the fuck are these people, by the way? Are these, like, his, like, normie friends, and he's, like, introducing them to his, like, criminal friends? Lol, he lost all his fans? Oh, I'm sure there's lots of people who are still in love with him, but... I mean, that would pretty much just the snuff film thing already made me go like, I don't like you, and then the killing cat thing just made me go, oh, you're a piece of shit. Oh, okay, okay, that's the game I'm playing. Okay, but when Tursk wasn't looking, West tagged along just fine. But none of them, none, compared to her. Renee. Met her on Twitter, of all places. One of those weird, grimy, late-night communities. Dark concept art. Gore. The darkest, freakiest shit you could find. And she got me. She's not like the rest. I don't know what she is, exactly. But I cherish her. That's not a word I use lightly. Avon hummed, a soft, genuine smile on his face. Ooh. Tell me about your... Oh, okay. I could have talked about his other friends. Fuck, bro. I guess you were supposed to go, like, from the top down. Okay, tell me about your high school friends. High school friends. He thought for a moment, gathering his thoughts. Well, I've actually known Tursk and Wes since middle school. We weren't the best kids. Definitely not saints. Not even close. We used to mess with this kid. Xander, actually. He used to be scrawny... Quiet, too nerdy for his own good. Easy target. Kinda looked like a kicked puppy most of the time. I think we just wanted to see if he'd snap. He never really did. Avon laughed as if remembering a fond memory. There was this one time, up on the school rooftop. It was my idea, obviously. Thought it'd be funny. Give him a little push, you know, a shove. Dumb move, but we were kids. He went right over the edge. Broke a bunch of shit. His arm, his ribs, maybe his pride too. Still breathing though, so not a big deal in the long run, right? Don't like bullies? You stared in shock. What? Avon looked at you right in the eye, but he quickly moved on instead of explaining himself. So you're a bully, a non-apologetic bully, a cat murderer, and you like snuff films. Alright, cool. Nice smile. He simply laughed it off. Anyway, high school came around and somehow we ended up friends with him. I suggested it, of course. Said it'd be good to keep him close. At that point, he fit in all right. After a bit of rewiring, Xander had been changed into something harder, more useful, easier to laugh with. And he had potential. You wonder what he meant by potential. We all started hanging out more, studying, crashing at each other's places. I always got the best grades. Tursk was all about football, lifting and yelling about grit. It was either that or superheroes. West. West was a sugar bomb with legs, adrenaline driven, jittery hands, big dumb heart, always down to try anything if you framed it right. I found it funny. Took advantage of that more than once. It was this night at my house. West dropped a cup. Plastic. Not even glass. My dad lost. His shit. Slapped him so hard the walls shook. Poor West looked like he'd seen God. He brought us forward in concern. What the hell? What happened? I laughed. What else could you do? Tursk didn't, though. From then on, he'd bring juice boxes over like West was some toddler. Thought that was sweet in a sad kind of way. Not that it mattered. They stopped staying overnight not too long after that. You guys stayed friends? Well, college split us up. Kinda. Not really. I switched majors. Was gonna be a nurse, but that got boring. Now I'm in cybersecurity. Makes more sense, right? I like breaking into things, so it felt like the right thing to do. Tursk's still playing football, drinking his weight in cheap beer, studying something with dead frogs and scalpels. Biology studying frat bro. West, he's doing journalism. Wants to tell stories. Kind of funny, considering how many of ours he'll never, ever, ever touch in 1,000 years. He knows when to keep his mouth shut, usually. I'm getting my master's now, though. Still top of the class, still ahead of the game. Xander, still following along, though we're hardly in contact like we used to be in high school. Even thinks as a flicker of betrayal crosses his face. You just sound like an asshole. Is this supposed to make me like him? Okay, tell me about your acquaintances. Tell me about your acquaintances. Evan giggles as if somebody already popped up into his head. This girl, Calbat, and I go way back. High school. She used to hang out with Xander, actually. I think they were lab partners or something in middle school. Funny, right? She hated me. Still kind of does. Said I gave her a bad feeling the first time I spoke to her. I told her that was just first meeting jitters. We weren't friends, not back then. But soon enough, we both needed cash. Her mom was sick. Really sick. She didn't talk about it much, but it hung on her like a weight. Me. I had my own mess to deal with. You know, angry dad, mom bailed, bills stacking up like bones. We both needed a way out. So we made one. Started small, contracts off the dark net. Nothing huge, just hacking jobs, some light blackmail, data dumps. We were good together. You raised your eyebrow. He rolled his eyes and smirked. Not in a romantic way. Calm down. Just efficient. She knew how to code, how to keep her mouth shut. I respected that. Pitched the organ trade once, just casually. She didn't like that too much. Can't blame her, I guess. She's got lines. Me? Mine's a bit blurrier. Instead, we focused on trackers. GPS mods, burner rigs, custom bugs, stuff you stick on a car or a person when you want to know everything. They sold like crazy. Black market, private contracts, some guy in Russia who never gave a name. We made a killing. She's sharp, no nonsense. Way too grounded to fall into the chaos like the others did. Still thinks I'm dangerous. She's right, of course. But she keeps answering when I call, and in this line of work, that's all that matters. You're a fucking morgue worker. I'm assuming he works in the morgue for illegal reasons. Avon sighed thoughtfully. Tell me about your childhood friends, bro. Xander. Met Xander when I was 4, fresh off the move to Colorado. We were kids, recess friends. He'd follow me around the playground like some sad little duck. All big eyes and scraped knees. At first I didn't mind it. He was quiet, easy. But kids grow, and I started noticing things. How soft he was. How easy it'd be to chip away at him. So I did. Got the sense that there was more to it he wasn't letting off for some reason. I'd shove him during dodgeball. Say he cried too easy. Pull his hoodie down in front of other kids. He flinched like clockwork. Hey! Shut the fuck up. Eventually, I'd corner him after class. Whisper things that stuck in his head for hours. No one likes you. You're just convenient. That kind of thing. Isn't that a bit much? Maybe. But I was shaping him. Doing him a favor. Oh, just like your dad did to you. I'd let him sit with us one day. Ignore him the next. Toss him a compliment after ripping him apart. Over time, he started hanging on to every word I said. That's when I knew I had him. By high school junior year, we weren't just friends. We were something else. Yowie. Toxic Yowie. We'd do things that'd make your skin crawl. Break-ins, vandalism, setups. Sometimes it was for fun, sometimes it was for a little extra cash. Sometimes it was just to see how far we'd go. How far he'd go. And Xander, he hesitated, but he never really said no. Avon's face flickered with something wicked. Not when it mattered, anyways. We got close. Real close. Your face scrunched in confusion. What do you mean? You know the kind of close people notice, but don't question. Well, Wes did. Rambled about it all the time to Tursk. Our friends, but most just whisper about it. They never questioned anything, and if they did, they certainly didn't say anything. I remember laughing once, thinking how no one would ever believe what we'd really done together, how deep it all went. But then shit caught up to me. After high school, I got into some mess. Jail time. Nothing permanent, but enough. When I got out, Xander was gone. Blocked my number. Changed phones. Vanished like I'd never been part of his life. Avon's grip on the blanket tightened between his fingers, nails digging back into his palm. It stung. Bad. Not because I missed him, but because I made him. He blinked once, then twice, trying to evaluate his words properly. And he had the nerve to pretend like I never existed. Good for Xander. He looked in shock, jumping back for a moment. Unfortunately, I think Xander probably died. Avon sighed and muttered a sorry. I was pissed. Hurt, yeah, sure, but mostly angry. I let it go eventually. Got into college. Started over. Kind of. Then I saw him again on campus. It looked like he'd seen a ghost. Maybe he had. I didn't rush it. Just gave him space. Time. And wouldn't you know it, slowly he came back around. Oh, never mind. He's an idiot. Water bottle. Water check. Maybe he could just have left him alone. Started messaging, laughing again, letting the walls drop. Same old patterns, same little ticks. Avon laughed. Posture check and a stretch check too? Nice. Finish up with some good posture chat. Okay, wow, you really do have friends. Horrible ones, but friends. Hi, guys. You're not sure what to say at first. His words hang in the air, dense and uneasy. Wow, you really do have friends. You laugh nervously. Damn, that's intense. You really don't hold back, huh? What the hell is wrong with you? Interesting. Not exactly surprising, though. I'm gonna go with interesting. Not exactly surprising, though. He tilts his head slightly, the corner of his mouth twitching. You say that like you figured me out. You cross your arms slowly. Not. Okay. Cross your arms slowly, posture calm, controlled. Damn. He was like a two-faced rabbit animal, if you will. We got the nut out of the person who missed the entire story. Damn. He seems kind, and maybe at this point he changed. No? What? His smile didn't reach his eyes, however, and he has not changed. He was so kind at the party, and possibly, just possibly, all of that was behind him now. No, it's not. But you weren't too sure. Why would it? Some people change. Maybe I did. That's what they say after all, right? Well, you were pretty nice at the party. He hums quietly, agreeing. I put on my best behavior that night. Glad you noticed. Yeah, I get it. All people need a pack. You didn't want to push the wrong buttons. You breathed, trying to release tension. He watches you breathed. But he watches you breathe like he's logging it away, amused. I missed 80%. Don't worry, I know what you literally said it. Chat, YouTube, Nia literally popped in my chat and said, hey, I'm going to leave for 3 hours and come back. And I said, okay, I'll see you later. And to nobody's surprise, that's exactly what Nia did. He watches you breathe like he's logging it away, amused. I just like the immediate nut. It's how you survive, isn't it? Most people, anyways. But you know, people change, always have a reason. And you seem like you've changed. It counts for something. I mean, the guy at the party couldn't have possibly been the same guy you're talking about now, right? His face goes still. Too still. We all have some skeletons to hide. But what matters is where we go from there, I guess. He smiles again as he watches you for your response. Ha. Right. But his eyes drift away from you. The smile fades entirely. His jaws clenches. Just barely, and his gaze settles on nothing in particular. Unfocused, quiet. Like he's thinking, oh, we're gonna die tonight. As the breeze picked up, you shivered slightly. Evan glanced at you inside. Rolling his neck, he looked back at you. What about you, Clock? How's your family and friends? He says it like it's casual, but his eyes linger like he's actually listening for something deeper than just small talk. Well, he did just trauma dump on us. If we responded with like, oh, I lived a normal life, I feel like he wouldn't be happy about it. It's so many questions. This is such like more like an interview. Jesus. It's like I'm going on an actual date with the guy, but he's really fucked up. And I want to leave. But I can't get a phone call to excuse it. Friends are good. I can't even say, like, let me go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I can't even come up with that excuse. Hi, Kat. Friends are good. Family, not so much. Family's all right, but friends, not really. I got lucky. Both are good. Neither. I got people, but I wouldn't call it good. You know, I would say friends are good. Family, not so much, but friends are good. Evan sighed, almost relieved. Yeah, I get that. Same boat, actually. He picks at the fraying edge of the blanket, nodding slightly. It's strange, right? How the ones who are supposed to love us unconditionally usually don't. Makes the people who choose us friends, matter more. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the blood of the womb, brother. Guess we're more alike than I thought, Clock. Laughing slightly to ease the tension, you decided to move the topic to something more light. You both sat on the edge of the blanket, your drink settled beside you. Avon had been talking for a while, drifting from the subject of classes into random tangents about life. So you're 25, right? Are you still in school? Yeah, I study at Devner University, working towards my master's now. Any good? Yeah, school's fine, I guess. You? Nice, I actually go to a community college at the moment. Saves money. How's the university? It's cool, lots to do, but sometimes I just ditch and go check out abandoned places, or drive around with friends. Clears my head. You laugh lightly. Which one do you actually enjoy more? Avon smirked. Both, actually. Man's gotta have hobbies other than death and whatever other illegal shit. Your smile faltered a bit at the casual way he said it. Ivan's eyes flickered to you. He could tell you weren't entirely comfortable with the joke. Yeah, I want to only hear about your illegal happenings. Ivan then sighed and leaned back, flashing a quick smile. My bad. His voice was teasing as usual, but softer now. You want to hear some poems? He raised a brow. Oh, poems. Water at a cemetery date? Cozy? Yeah, cat. I feel so bad for everyone coming into the stream really late and they're like seeing this really hot emo androgynous femboy and like he's just an actual piece of shit. Like this guy's actually just the biggest piece of shit ever and people are just popping in and they're just like, "Oh, he's hot." Oh man. It's pretty much been like this since we started, like since we got here. So like it's been like an hour of just this. Of just talking to him, like, just talking. It's like actually being on a date. which I feel like a lot of people just are not built to go through in this chat. Yeah, I've got a bunch saved. Avon hummed, sitting up and already unlocking his phone. Yo, new image! Renee's actually heard some of these before. You nodded and smiled. Sure then. He scrolled for what he was searching for and began reading. I like in the big letters. Poem! Hey, new CG is always nice, bros. I love a new CG. Okay, it's not full CG, but you get what it is. The first one was raw, almost uncomfortably so, but being a desperate child who always felt like an intruder in his own home. What's wrong with him? He kills cats with his friends. He likes snuff films, or illegal films, which I can only assume are snuff films. He likes to break and enter people's homes for no reason other than the fun of it. Those are like the worst things, I guess, he kind of done. Oh, and he was a bully in school, and he didn't regret it at all. He was happy to be a bully. But he does have a sad backstory. I just don't give a fuck. Oh, and he blackmails people. Yeah. He's a bully. Yeah, he was a bully in high school, like, and elementary. And no offense, if I found out you bullied people in high school or elementary, I probably wouldn't like you that much either. Especially if you didn't regret it, like... But yeah, he also kills cats and watches snuff films, so... Yeah, fuck. No, I'm good. Oh. Yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst. Guys, this character in the game was based off Clock. Excuse you? He actually said he doesn't like Clock. I even searched your face for your reaction. Dude. Sometimes people are like, oh, guys are like horny idiots, but don't worry. Don't worry. It's not just the guys. Guys and girls are actually so equal, chat. Like, it really is. Sometimes guys and girls are so equal. There's always girls that are gonna be like, I don't care. You smiled in interest, your face didn't move, you frowned in disapproval. At his poem? Wait, his poem sounded good. His poem actually sounded... You smiled in interest. The second was darker. It's about teenage years, adrenaline-filled, defiance-ridden, and drenched in trouble. It was full of the excitement only committing a crime could give. I even searched your face for your reaction. You smiled in interest. The third and last one felt like it was about someone older. It held the same trouble as the last, perhaps even worse, but it was heavy and reflective. I even searched your face for your reaction. Oh, reflective. I smiled in interest. When he finished the last line, his voice lingered in the air for a moment before he spoke again. I wanted to be a good person once. Maybe I was. No, I don't think so. But it was so long ago. I'm not sure anymore. Guess that's what shitty parents and no internet safety does to you. You know what? No, actually. I turned out okay, actually. No. No, actually. You sat there and thought, and that's when you noticed the soft patter around you. It started to rain, the thick leaves above your heads shielding most of it. At least we're under a good tree. He muttered as you two watched the droplets fall just past the edge of the blanket. Silence hung between you two until you nudged him. Keep talking. He didn't look at you first, but then his eyes scraped slowly to their corner, glancing over to you. You ever want to disappear? You stared in momentary shock. Kind of question is that, dude? No, what the fuck? No. I get that one. I mean, weird question, that's for sure, but sometimes, not in a literal sense, of course, more just like taking a break from everything, a restart. I think we all need that from now and then. I mean, kind of, yeah. Things get... Achoo! Oh, I got the sniffles, bros. Sorry. Excuse me. I mean, kind of, yeah. Things get hard sometimes. Sorry, that was probably a dark answer. That's kind of a... It's not that dark of an answer to, run away. Like, to think about running away. I think everyone's had that thought, right? I feel like a lot of people have had that thought. Sometimes, you could just run away. Start afresh somewhere new. Thanks, guys. Things just get hard sometimes. Avon listened intently. Sorry, that was probably a dark answer. I don't even understand how that's dark. Avon smiled at your honest answer. It's weird, being that vulnerable, But it was like it just came out without a second thought. But it wasn't like you could just shove the words back in your mouth out of embarrassment, though you wish you could. No need to apologize for such a real answer. It's honest. Vulnerable. I like that in people. Yeah, I know what you did to the last guy who was vulnerable around you. Avon placed his hand on yours with a soft expression. If it were up to me, I'd make sure things were never hard for you again. His smile tightened like he was thinking more, wanted to say more. But the words never came out. You wish you knew what he was thinking, his true intentions. The rain that splattered around you grew heavy, thunder cracking angrily in the distance. Trees that once saved you from getting your clothing soaked now did little to help filter out the rain. The blanket around you both also soaking. Okay, can we go? Fuck. Oh shit. Damn. I didn't think it would rain. Maybe we should have said something, you know, when it started? Stood up quickly, trying to block your face from the rain. Avon looked around quickly and grabbed your arm. Come on. Swiftly pulled you underneath a stone hedge that led into what seemed to be a mausoleum. Both leaned your backs against the stone wall, catching your breath. After a few moments, you turned to look at each other. You both couldn't help but laugh at the situation. Thanks. Quick thinking there. Yeah, wouldn't want my, date to get wet, would I? Or would I? Wringing out his hair, he took out of his ponytail and muttered to himself. He shook his hair out and massaged his scalp, allowing the locks to fall along his shoulders, letting out a content hum. Much better. Hey, yo? Hey, yo? He smiled at you playfully, teasing you. You're shivering. Yeah, I guess a blanket can't do much when it's wet, can it? You laughed, pulling your arms closer to your body. If you want, I can hold on to you. We could keep each other warm, just till the rain calms down enough to walk to the car. Hold me. You suddenly feel warm already. Avon let out a guffaw at your flustered face. Yeah, hold you. Come here, don't make it awkward. But still, I don't like him. Avon pulled you closer into his chest. He was warm, and his cologne brought a sense of comfort. I like femboys, so it's cool. Same as the blanket did. It almost made you relax against your will, keeping you inhaling and steady. You didn't entirely notice it before, but despite his frame, he seemed well built. His heartbeat, despite everything, was steady. Femboy vampire. I think those are just piercings, don't worry. You looked at him as he smiled down at you. Better. Quickly, you turned your head away bashfully. Yeah, actually. A lot warmer now. Your gaze made its way back towards him. The way his wet strands of hair clung to his neck and curtained around his face made you blush. Getting a closer look, you locked onto his eyes. They almost made you forget where you were for a moment. Why did you say I'm a guy today? Why did you say that? The way the red rings pulsed ever so slightly. It was hard not to get lost in such a unique irises. I really like your colored contacts. You fell over your words, mouth suddenly dry. Something caught your eye, or is it something on my face, Dove? His voice was soft and sultry. Slutry! Yeah, this man is a slut, all right. Slipping into your ears like silk. What? Oh, wait. Dove? Avon chuckled at your confused face. His shirt is sheer now? I don't think his shirt is sheer. Dove. Like a morning dove. Ah, I see. Seems so dark. But it is wet shirt, so I guess it's supposed to be like a little see-through. Clock, do you not see him? He's a guy. He's a femboy. I'm a girl, not a boy. I'm changing my gender for this man. I I I don't understand. I don't understand. Are you interested in men or not? What do you mean? What do you mean you can only be with him, this straight man, if you're a guy? Has the yaoi gotten that bad, chat, that you can't imagine yourself in a relationship anymore unless you're a man yourself? that's that's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty funny. You can't even imagine yourself in a relationship anymore. It has to be you as a man. Maybe we're gonna put the yaoi down, chat. Maybe we gotta maybe you gotta put the yaoi down for a little bit, okay? Maybe we gotta get you to touch some grass. We're cooked. Chat simping. I mean, I knew they were gonna simp. I knew people were gonna simp for this. This guy is like candy for babies, okay? This guy is like, this is like if you this was like a date with death levels of eye candy, okay? I knew what was gonna happen. To most. It's sweet in its own way, I guess. Avon brought his hand to your face and wiped away a stray hair that clung to it. Your cheeks are so warm. Do you like that name? Dove? What? No, I did, but that's not why. It's just that we're super close. Avon cocked his eyebrows slightly. Not used to it. Dove. He didn't say anything, and he let out a sigh, off in thought, letting his hand find its way back to your waist. He simply stared off into the rain and back at you. When he looked back at you, he gave you a gentle smile. It's the kind of smile that could melt someone's heart, and it did. Yours fluttered as you two sat together under the rough patter of rain. He rested your head gently against his chest. The steady rhythm of his heartbeat filled your ears as a yawn slipped out. The limbs on your body grew heavy, rubbing your eyes. Your thoughts moved slower and slower. Akon. Okay, bro's not Akon. You hadn't realized just how tired you were after such a long conversation. Avon's eyes softened as he shifted, lowering you both against the stone floor of the mausoleum, letting you rest against him. Hey, yo. Oh, shit. MC is bald? Are you fucking for real? And naked? Bald and naked. Okay, never mind. We're changing the name to chat, not clock, okay? We're changing the name to chat. It's not clock anymore, okay? It's chat. He sighed in thought, glancing down at you as your eyelids grew heavy. It's fine to nap. I'll wake you up once the rain clears, so don't worry about it, okay? You nodded tiredly and finally allowed sleep to take you. The femboy is femboying right now. As you slept, Avon muttered to himself in thought. I like you. Kinda. In a weird way. I guess I can keep you around, see what you're about. He laughed quietly to himself. Congratulations to you, I guess, huh? Interesting enough to keep around. At least you weren't boring. He leaned his head back against the cold stone wall, eyes drifting shut for a moment. You really are lucky, you know, Clock. You just don't know. Time passed, and when you stirred awake, Avon was gently shaking your shoulder. Your eyes fluttered open. Outside the mausoleum, the rain had slowed to a drizzle. Sleep well, Dove. You yawned, stretching as you sat up. Yeah, I guess the conversation and the rain really put me to sleep. It's not that you're boring or anything. Your voice is just soothing. Sorry about that. Avon chuckled, offering you his hand to help you up. All good. Pulled out his phone, checked the time and sighed. It's getting pretty late, huh? Guess I should drive you back home. He guided you by the hand back towards the soaked picnic spot, collecting a few snacks and handing them to you. For the ride. Wait, what about the rest of the stuff? Avon glanced over his shoulder and shook his head with a smile. I'll come clean it up later. Let's just worry about getting you home for now, okay? Chat, that is not a hear me out, okay? That's not a hear me out. That's the worst hear me out ever, okay? There's nothing to hear out, bro. You're preaching to the choir, bro. Okay? Get out of town. Get the fuck out of here. It's like saying hear me out to Megan Fox, bro. You nodded, following him down the path to the entryway of the cemetery. Back at his car, he stashed the snacks, then opened your door for you. As you settled inside with a sigh, hear me out, drywall. Wait, no way this guy's drywall to you. As you settled inside with a sigh, he slipped into the driver's seat. Before starting the car, he pulled out a long switchblade and placed it casually on the control panel. There's nothing to hear out, Nia. There's nothing to hear out. Your eyes widened in shock slightly at the sight of the blade. Did you always have that? He buckled his seatbelt, glancing between the knife and you. Yeah. Keep it on me in case anything bad happens. Out of habit, really. Yeah, we survived tonight, by the way. You laughed, nervously trying to poke fun as he started the car. I'm sorry, but I would not simp over Megan Fox. Well, I mean, okay, I meant for, like, straight guys, but also... Also, Megan Fox is just hot. I don't know. I don't know. If you're a woman, can you not tell when another woman is, like, hot? What? Did you think I was some serial killer here to take your organs or something? Avon gave you a once-over and let out a short laugh as he pulled out of the lot. You. Not in a million years. You giggled as the car rolled down the empty streets towards your house. The ride was full of chatter and jokes as Avon held your free hand in his, rubbing small circles on your hand with his thumb. I am a woman and I am bi. I can tell. Well, then how do you not like Megan Fox, bro? Wait, that's not you. It was someone else who said they don't like Megan Fox. Crazy business. But you have a jacket. Why weren't you wearing it? You just got like 10 points of aura, bro. Bro's like way cooler with the jacket. Based. I'm not just saying that because bro knows what's up. Bro knows what's up with the fur, okay? Before long, you stood outside your place. Avon got out too, grabbing his jacket and leaning against his car to watch as you walked up to your door. Thanks for the date and for driving me home. Avon grinned playfully, rolling his eyes. Of course, of course. Sorry you got wet, though. You glanced down at your damp clothes and shrugged. Little rain never killed anybody. Oh, that's what he was referring to. Oh, yeah, okay. I guess you're right. Well, tonight was nice, Clock. I'll let you get inside and settled. Wow, okay, we're just gonna overlook all the crimes? I mean... He never said he stopped doing them, but our character just assumed he stopped being a criminal, so yes. You nodded with a smile, turning on your heel, but before you could step away, his hand caught your wrist, gently turning you back around. Before you could ask what was wrong, he leaned in and pressed a small kiss on your cheekbone before pulling away with a fond smile. Thanks for the date tonight. Have a good night, Dove. You stammered, cheeks hot. You too. Ha 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 ha. Blushing, you watched him head back towards his car, but before getting in, he glanced back at you with a small grin. Until next time. You smiled and nodded quickly. Yeah. He waved you off, and you slipped inside, shutting the door behind you. Lock that shit. You smiled to yourself. Date wasn't half bad. A little creepy, sure, but not half bad. Ending 3 out of 4. Until next time. To be contondered. Thank you for playing Date at the Cemetery Chapter 1. Be sure to rate the game here and stay connected for future games and updates. Yeah, definitely check it out. I feel like we got a lot of stuff there, actually. Yeah, we got 3 CGs. I'm surprised. There's still, like, 3 other things I could have done. I could load up some of the options and, like, kind of rush through them if you guys want. I'm going to rush through them and just be an asshole really quick. I just want to see what happens. I'm not going to go for all endings on this because I don't have the time. It's really long and it's really thought out and it's really interesting, but I'm just going to be like an asshole. So, not really. Flickered for a moment before returning to normal. Didn't seem to like that answer. Oh. He's like, not really, it's a bit scary. I'm a little nervous. Avon held back from rolling his eyes. Seriously. It's romantic in a mysterious, spooky sort of way. Think about it. Peaceful, quiet, no crowds, just vibes. Alone. No amount of flirting could ever make this better. I think that's a big part of why it's scary. What? Are you scared of the dead will crawl right out of the ground and eat you alive? Evan jumped right in front of you with creepy little fingers. He jumped slightly from his childish teasing excuse of a jump scare. Evan snickered at your action as you settled back down. Why did he do that? He's a bit of an asshole. You felt tears prickle at your eyes. Evan takes notice and sighs with a roll of his eyes. He puts his arms up in surrender. Okay, fine, I'll stop. Is he upset with me? He forced a smile. I don't know how the fuck you can have a good ending with this guy. I'm not gonna lie. There's a reason. It's the same reason why half of the chat is lusting for this man. You know, I always like to think of, some, obviously this is fictional, but sometimes it's not even fictional, you know? Sometimes, like, if a murderously hot woman was into me and I was single, you know, like, sometimes you just look past that shit, you know? Sometimes you just go look past that. But the fact that he killed a cat it's not enough. I don't even give a fuck, you know? The fact that him and his friends killed a cat, I would have spit on him. I would have spit on him, maybe killed him. No, I probably wouldn't have killed him. But I would have just walked away right then and there. You kill a cat, bro, for no reason, and then he says it was an accident and smiles. Yeah, never mind, bye. See you later. I'm reporting you to the cops now. Okay, make a sarcastic joke instead. I'm good. No sacrificial dagger, though, to go with the, vibe. Disappointed. Evan cleared his throat with a tight smile, eyebrow twitching. He did it with a bunch of friends, actually. Killed the cat with a bunch of friends. Left it at home this time. Rookie mistake. You actually have a knife in your pocket, but I guess it's not sacrificial. Mumbled the last part under his breath. For a moment, you wonder if he really did have a sacrificial dagger. You ever thought it was being romanced by a proper spooky gentleman? You chuckled at your own joke, trying to lighten the mood. Evan sighed, rolling his eyes. He was getting tired of your sarcastic remarks. My only one. Well, sorry, it's not fancy enough. Not everyone gets exactly excited about candlelit rooftop dinners, you know. You frowned at his condescending tone. I was joking. Take a few steps away from him, something Evan takes notice of, but doesn't comment on. Yeah, sure. I know. Just kind of sounded like you'd rather be anywhere else. You didn't mean to upset him, not like this at least, but now there's a weird edge to the air. The humor doesn't land like it usually does. Somewhere in the distance, you hear the sharp caw of a crow, making the cemetery suddenly feel colder than before. We can go, if you want. He stated with an irritated edge to his voice. Oh, no, it's fine. Sorry. You fawned, trying to make the situation easier. You didn't want to make him more upset. Yes, I do, actually. Satanist! Under your breath. God, what a red flag. Satanist, that's kinda a red flag, Avon. You weren't entirely serious, but you'd be lying if you said it didn't concern you a bit. Avon smiled, though it didn't quite reach his ears. Fair. Totally fair. It was as if he wanted to laugh, but he shrugged, a strain behind his words like something brittle in his throat attempting to sound casual. But hey, at least I'm honest about who I am, right? Are you honest about who you are, Clock? I mean, no, I'm a VTuber. Yeah, of course I am. No, sometimes it's easier not to be honest. Yeah, of course I am. Took offense to the question. Studies you. That mask-like smile returns. Now there's something sharper behind it. Brave answer. He steps closer just enough to notice the way your breath changes. That's good. Honesty's a dying art, but you... It's like you're still hiding something. You open your mouth to respond, but his gaze holds you. Curious and unblinking. That's okay, though. Secrets are good. People without them are either lying or boring. You're not sure if that's supposed to comfort you, but the way he says it almost sounds like a compliment. Almost. Immediately on a different list now. I saw that, yeah. I mean, okay. Getting to know him was awful. And honestly, I don't care how tragic your backstory is, which wasn't really that tragic. It doesn't make me like you. Look, chat, I'm more of a personality kind of person. I'm more about the personality, you know. You know, looks can only go so far for me. I totally get it if you're not the same, though. Akon for his name on the drawing because my dyslexic can't read font. I literally told you you called him Akon. Yeah, he just sucks. This is a game for the freaks, okay? I get it. I get it, bro. I get it. As you walk beside Avon, your eyes drift downward, drawn by the way his fingers toy with the pendant around his... Oh, wait, skip. Skip. Let's do a skip. Let's do energy drinks because he doesn't like them. Energy drink. I live on edge. He's like, you do not. You grab a can and raise it like a golden treasure. If I'm gonna hang out in the cemetery, might as well do it wired on some caffeine, huh? Avon laughs, both impressed and mildly horrified. This late, shit's gonna kill you, but hey, whatever rows your boat, right? He watches you take a sip with mock awe as he grabs a can of juice. If you start tweaking, though, I'm taking a photo. What? Sour candy, I like the pain. What the fuck did he buy, bro? Sour candy does not hurt, okay? I've never had sour candy that hurts. Maybe it's like nuclear waste. That really crazy, like, sour candy. Pick up one of the sour candies and toss it in your mouth. Jaw clenches immediately, and Avon watches with mischievous delight. Fuck, those are sour. Man, is it good, though. God, I love watching people suffer through those. No clue how people do it. Avon laughed at your pain. Okay. Okay, that's kind of a weird thing to be into, not gonna lie. Yeah, that. Okay. That's kind of a weird thing to be into, not gonna... Oh, yeah, he is also, like, super into death, and he works in a morgue, so... That's another thing. I mean, it's not a red flag to work in a morgue. It's kind of a morgue. It's kind of like a problem when, like, you hear you're into death. When someone tells you they're into death and work in a morgue. Fun fact, if you didn't know this, funeral homes usually don't hire men. Do you want to know why funeral homes don't usually hire men, chat? It's so fucking awful. It's because of necrophilia, chat. It's because of necrophilia. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. Yeah. And I'm not too sure about you, but Avon has made it very clear that he loves to do fucked up things, especially to the dead. So I'm just gonna move on with that. I don't know if that was coincidental that the author wrote it like that, but I feel like it's not. I feel like the author kind of knew what they were writing here. They really did want to make him like the most fucked up person. Okay, so okay. Weird isn't always bad, Clock. But I get it. Most people don't like looking too close at the things that make them squirm. It's human nature. He breathed out as if releasing tension. Even if they see a bit of themselves in it. You weren't exactly sure what he meant by that. Yeah. We've got Nia in my chat doing a one-sided conversation, just screaming at the wall. Nia, just take a screenshot, okay? The silence between you grows. It's not hostile, but cautious. You glance at him, watching the way he stares ahead, expression unreadable now. Blanket is spread out in the grass, the soft clink of drink bottles, the faint rustle of candy wrappers, and the hum of distant wind fills the air. Wow. Okay, wait. Skip. Okay. I just want to see what he does if we are, like, a dick to him, basically. No horny here. Unfortunately, Cat, I think we have two very big horn dogs in this chat. Bro. They're the biggest horn dogs I've ever seen in my chat, man. They're worse than I am. Born and raised, boring, I know. Boring isn't so bad. It just means you've had time to figure yourself out. Okay, so easy. Do you want to be normal? Avon tilts his head, caught off guard. Not by the question, but seriously, you're asking it. I used to. When I was younger, I was so desperate back then. So you gave up? Avon laughs silently. Maybe it was easier that way, but hey, I'm damn good at hiding it. Okay. He gives a lot of quick responses when you're kind of a dick to him. Okay, this is all, you kind of have to go through all this. So let's just go through it all. Go through it all. Don't hit me. Wow, you really do have friends. What the hell is wrong with you? Wait, I'm gonna save here, because I might be able to get a different ending if I save here. Okay, what the hell is wrong with you? You recoil, disgust written all over your face. You killed a cat and thought that was okay? His smile falters, brow twitching as his eyes narrow just slightly. He was dying anyway. You don't know the full story. Most people would say they put down a cat if it was a dying cat, but okay. But you fucking let Xander around those people. Then you have the nerve to talk to about him like some toy? Yeah, you literally treated him like... His jaw clenches as he sat up. He laughs, short, sharp, and joyless. Ha! Xander wanted to be there. He could have always said no, Clock. Avon rolled his eyes dismissively. Except he couldn't! Sounds like you didn't give him a choice. You've never given him a choice. Avon goes to speak, but you're quicker, if only by a second. And don't even get me started on this shit with West. You could have been fine, but you just... He cuts in, voice suddenly louder, tone defensive. I just what, huh? West made his own choices. I didn't hold a gun to his head. Wouldn't be surprised if you did. And who knows if your connection with Renee is even real. Avon's eyes stare daggers into yours. If looks could truly kill, you'd be dead as the bodies beneath the soil by now. Your tone even, steady. Oh, the art goes crazy. The artist is insane. Look, I don't care what you've been through. There's just no excuse. No better than that you're also casual about it. Glanced away, bringing your knees into your body. His mouth opens, but nothing comes out. He stares at you as if he's seeing you differently now. He whispers under his breath with a snarl. What did he say? Gunt? Quickly, your head snapped back to meet his gaze. What? You think you're better than me, huh, Clock? You stared at him in disbelief, weighing your words. Suddenly, this felt less like an argument, more like your life was in danger. You decided to take things more easy. This was a date, after all. You didn't want your name ending up on some shitty true crime podcast. I didn't say that. That's not... No. Okay. Chill out, Nia. Chill out, bro. We don't say that about the artist, okay? Nia's getting auto-modded. Nia, I'm gonna have to actually step in and say something. Chill the fuck out, okay? Chill out, bro. That's a bit fucking weird, okay? I get you had to make cash. Went through some shit. I get that. But don't we all? Avon let out a breath from his nose bitterly. Roman, you could have sworn you saw the black rings within his eyes contract. It's just, I don't know. You need help, Avon. There was a pause of silence, a long one. He turns his face away from you, expression unreadable at first. That was until his jaw tightens, his gaze drops to the floor, cold and calculating. When he looks up again, it's not at you, it's through you. Like something behind his eyes clicked. So that's what you think. Then, he smiles. He doesn't say another word, just stares, breathing, slow, eyes sharp. Like he was thinking. He is, plotting, he is. As the breeze picked up, you shivered slightly. Avon glanced at you inside. Rolling his neck, he looked back at you. What about you, Clock? How's your family and friends? Don't fucking say that. I got lucky. Both are good. Avon laughed, but it was tight and forced. Wow, Clock. Perfect family, perfect friends. How could you ever understand me? He shook his head, still smiling. Must have had it real easy, huh? You open your mouth to respond, but he cuts in before you can. Sorry, it's just wild hearing someone say that and not be joking. He lets out a short laugh. You don't really know what awful is then. Lucky you. Laughing slightly to ease the tension, you decide to move the topic to something more light. Your face didn't... You frowned in disapproval. The second was darker. Okay, wait. You frowned in disapproval. You frowned in disapproval. Fuck this guy. Okay, what kind of question is that? No, dude, what the fuck? What kind of question is that? No, dude, what the fuck? He smiled at your defensiveness. It seemed to have amused him. The smile alone made you uncomfortable, and he seemed to have noticed. Come on now, it was a joke. A light one at that. Nothing more. No need to get so catty. Yeah, but who asked that on a date? That's some serial killer shit. He looked away thoughtfully, a smile still on his face. Maybe. The rain that splattered around you grew heavy. Okay. Suddenly his face... Oh, okay, so instead of loving us here and being like, you're interesting, suddenly his face fell, completely unreadable, though there was a faint edge of irritation in the way his jaw tightened. He forced out a smile, a sigh with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. You know, I've been trying this whole time, right? He sucked his teeth, thinking. But it just feels like you're not. Maybe you can never really get me. He froze, caught off guard by the sudden shift in attitude. Like you hate me or something. You get it? Everything I say, you shut down or twist or just... He clicked his tongue, letting out a dry, humorless laugh. We just have different opinion on things. Nothing wrong with that. He wondered why he was so upset. Truthfully, the date had already gone sour. Is it because of the sour gummies I had? He just wanted it to end. To go home, and maybe block his number the second you walked through your door. Desperation had dragged you into this mess, and now you wished you'd left earlier. He smiled tightly at you. Yeah, they say opposites attract, don't they? From the corner of your eye, you caught something glinting in the moonlight. Your chest tightened. What was that? Too bad I'm not the kind of people they're talking about. Why does he look afraid of me? Catching a glimpse of the glint, you instinctively stumbled back as it made its way towards you. Avon's face turned irritated, no, angry, as the rings in his eyes pulsed rapidly. He glanced down at what he was holding, recognizing it as a long switchblade. What the fuck? Your heart hammered rapidly in your chest, breath becoming uneven and jagged. We got our own knife? Okay, chat, my penis is not that hard, but we're gonna try. We gotta fight back with something. What the fuck is going on? Avon's chest rose and fell with adrenaline as his once angry face twisted into a manic smile. Waiting no longer, he lunged at you, making you roll out of the way and onto the rough stone pavement. Damn it! I am hard! We're just not that hard! Hearing Avon's sharp snarls of frustration, you scrambled to your feet and bolted outside of the mausoleum. Oh shit, it's a chase scene? You ran through the maze of trees and tombstones, your breath ragged as the cemetery swallowed you whole. What a little bitch. Ah, don't hit me. This guy's a bitch. Heavy, rapid footsteps pounded after you, closing the gap. Doesn't he know if a girl doesn't like you, you should like her more? Oh, you really think you can run from me? His voice was low but loud. He tried desperately not to slip, every muscle screaming at you to keep moving. Your mind spun with 1,000 thoughts, each one sharper than the last. You shouldn't have gone on a date with a guy you barely knew, especially not at night. Actually true, by the way. You should have told at least someone where you were going, but no. By the way, definitely something you should do. Now, the only thing you wanted was to curl up into a hole and cry. By the way, most first dates, you should try to go to a public place, actually. Instead, you pushed your body forward, forcing your way through the unfamiliar graveyard in a blind attempt to find the exit. I do not want to get stabbed. You thought you remember where. Don't speak for us. Don't say we. You can say you, but not me. But even if you made it out, then what? He had a car, you didn't. Couldn't outrun him all the way back to town, could you? City wasn't far, not really. You were in the middle of Denver, for fuck's sake. The nearest major buildings were half a mile away, their glowing windows hidden by distance. Smaller shops, side streets, parks. They had to be closer. If you were lucky, you might stumble onto someone, anyone. But was it too late? Would anyone even be out at this hour? Go on. Keep fucking running, Clock. I hope you know I'll find you. Like I always do. Oh, good. I'm not your first target? That's good. Like he always does. What did he mean? He did this to other people? It's actually cute how desperate you are. I'm not gonna lie. If I got killed by a femboy, I probably wouldn't be able to look God or the devil in the eye. I probably just could not. His voice swung into a high giggle, voice rasping between breaths. You're pathetic. He spoke like it was all a game to him. Maybe it was. I'm imagining a little hee hee and then pathetic. He sounded way too happy for it not to be. The way he smiled at you before you ran sent shivers down your spine. I used to never even get found in hide and seek. I'm so good, chat. That or nobody bothered to look for you. You thought fast, finally approaching the exit. The art mixed with the voice Clock is giving him is just ugh. Oh, I'm glad that I'm giving him a bad voice. Thank you. Where would you go? I was gonna give him the Mickey Mouse voice. Would you prefer that? Where would you go? You couldn't just run down the roads. You had to go where he couldn't see you. The trees. You could go through the trees. You made a sharp turn as you exited, stunning Avon for a second as you looked around for where you could have gone. This gave you time to sneak into the trees that surrounded the cemetery and make way towards the city. Good choice. You ran through, hoping that the rain wouldn't filter your footsteps. I know you're somewhere in here, Clock. He laughed with glee as you heard the crunch of his own feet from the distance. Come on, don't hide. You stopped running and stood paralyzed in fear. Every nerve in your body screamed to turn around, just to see how far he was, but you forced your eyes forward, scared that the single action alone would make all your efforts go to waste. So you kept going, but slowly. You made slow footsteps, shoes crunching between twigs and leaves towards what sounded like a busy street. You made good progress too, hope filling your chest as you inched closer and closer to safety. Occasionally, Avon would taunt you, his mere presence making you feel dizzy. You just wished it was over. The street wasn't too far now, just 3 yards or so away, and... Ah! You writhed in pain as you fell into a drop near what looked like a small pond and a crashed truck. You fell on a branch and clutched your back in pain as you cried out, the stream of water failing miserably at muffling your sounds of pain. You wondered if Avon had heard you, but you didn't hear anything. Hopefully not. Yeah, right. You lay there for a moment, taking in your surroundings, catching a glimpse of a path that led upward to the busy street just ahead. All you had to do was get up and get to the road. It was so close now. Safety was so close now. Trying to stand, you winced in pain, your ankle throbbing from your fall. But you had to push through. You had to. Wobbling in pain towards the path, you heard a shift behind you. Before you even had the chance to look, you were quickly tripped and your ankle was stomped on as you fell. Oh my god. Okay, I think we're done. Rolling onto your back as you cried, you saw Avon loom over you. Avon smiled as he breathed heavily and trapped you below him, placing both legs on either side of you. He giggled in delight, quick and breathy as he took in the horrified expression on your face. Oh, come on. Running away from a date. That's not very nice, Dove. Leaning down to meet your nose with his, he watched closely as tears streamed down your face, amused as your pathetic attempt to wriggle away. Blade in hand, he grabbed both your wrists and held you in place. Let me go, someone please! No, man, no! He feigned a sympathetic look before taking his tongue and dragging it slowly along your tear-stained cheek. You whimpered at the feeling, sick to your stomach, before scrambling out from his grip. You somehow managed to flip onto your stomach, trying desperately to crawl away, but it was no use. Evan simply laughed and drove his blade into your calf. Crying out at the sudden searing pain, you instinctively tried to hold your leg, but were quickly reminded of the circumstances. So you kept crawling, praying to any god that was there. Please, please, God, anyone help me. You whimpered out as you pulled yourself to the path. Avon simply trailed behind you slowly before yanking the blade out of your calf and pinning you to the ground once more. Oh, good. He yanked your head back quickly by your hair, just enough so that you could look him in the eye. It was an uncanny number of rings in his eyes, pulsing in and out at rapid speeds. There is no God. Wait. There is no God here, silly thing! There you go, right at the end. Oh god. Avon's voice dragged somewhere between a laugh and a snarl before suddenly cutting. Avon closed the distance between you and whispered against your ear while pressing his bloody blade against your neck. But you sure did make this game exciting for me, didn't you, Dove? There, it's more high-pitched. They did mention he had a high-pitched voice. He smiled. But playtime is over. The expression on his handsome face dropped before dragging his knife sharply against your neck. Ouchies. Blood spilled out in thick streams before you even got to say a word, the red liquid choking your airways as you tried to grasp desperately at the pain as if it would change a thing. He flipped you over as he spat at you through gritted teeth. I hate you, you know? Oh, I can't do it anymore. My throat hurts, chat. I've been talking too long. I hate you, you know? He smiled thinly as his eyes bore into yours. I ruined it? Good. But I'll like you a lot more once you're dead and silent. Where you can't say shit. Wait, I can't do it anymore. Where you can't say shit, you morally superior fuck. Your consciousness faded in and out as you continued to bleed from your neck, sputtering and choking beneath him. It's cause when I do the deep voice, like, not deep voice, but when I just speak in a lower tone for a long time, I can't go high-pitched. That's right. Bleed out, you bitch. Ending 2 out of 4. I hate you to death. That's really only 2 out of 4? Really? Rate the game. Yeah, rate the game. I feel like we can grab another ending, like, really, really quick if I just go to here. And then I just be like... that. Yeah. Let's try to see if I can get a different ending, just really, really quick, okay? It's fucked up. More than fucked up, but... oh, wait. Here we go. Wait. I like that, or you intrigue me? I like that. Low voice drags down your falsetto. Oh, sorry. I like that. It's actually kind of... trailed off thinking for a moment. Attractive, in a way. Voice was low, like you were afraid to admit it. I mean, okay, not the cat thing. That's pretty fucking insane. But the rest of it, that chaos, you're controlled, the way people listen to you. I don't know, it's messed up, sure, but... tilt your head, smiling just slightly. I don't know why I'm smiling. A little nervous little laugh. You just said some really disturbing shit, and here I am. Heart racing like I've got a crush or something. Haha. God, that's messed up, isn't it? Avon stared at you with an unwavering smile, giving you a once-over. Yeah. So the MC is a bottom. I mean, the MC is whatever you want them to be, okay? The MC is a self-insert, chat. You don't have to be a guy or a girl. It's literally androgynous. It is. Leaned closer to you. One of his hands lifted just slightly, like he was deciding if he should touch you or not. His eyes flicked to your lips, then back up as he smiled. I like you, Clock. You're interesting. Finally pressing his hand into the soft curve of your cheek, you felt the slight tremble of your body through his arm. It amused him, his lips pulling into a tighter smile and voice dipping to a soft hum. Bald. You're so scared. Nervous. His hand finally settled gently at the side of your neck, thumb brushing just under your jaw, pulling your gaze back into his. Yet you're drawn in. The smile widened. You could have sworn you saw hearts forming in his eyes. I'm a bad, bad man. No, man. I hate this. I hate that. No, man. It's too cliche. He breathed for a moment. But I think you like that. Don't you, Clock? The heat on your face rose as you found yourself mere inches away from his breath brushing your lips. Instinctively pulling away, you laughed frantically. Ha 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 ha. As the breeze picked up, you shivered slightly. Evan glanced at you and sighed. Rolling his neck, he looked back at you. You gonna ask about my family now? What the hell? Okay, wait. Let me try to make it. Let me try to. Yeah, let's say neither. I've got people, but I wouldn't call it good. Like piqued interest. My friends, they were never really my friends. They used me pretty often. Kind of talked behind my back. Just toxic overall. Family isn't any better either. Never gave me a chance. 1,000 sins. Living with that was horrible. That's awful, really. He leans in just slightly, his hand brushing against your knee and then to your face. Can't imagine why anyone would put you through that. It just seems so genuine, you know. His gaze lingers, then drops briefly to your lips before looking away. You shouldn't have to go through stuff alone. You'd have a supportive family. A friend that genuinely cares for you. He smiles warmly He smiles warmly, brows tying together softly. I could always be that for you, you know. More if you're into that. I mean, this is a date, isn't it? You laugh softly, not quite expecting the warmth rising in your chest. Maybe, yeah. I kind of like to see where this leads. Evan's eyes gleam, pleased. Not surprised, but pleased. He pulls away, but keeps his distance. Of course, even if no one is there for you, I will. Promise. He shifts a bit closer, the edge of his thigh now pressed to yours. I think I'd like that. His hand still resting on your knee moves in slow, idle circles. Spoke quietly as if the dead could hear him smiling gently. Good. I was hoping you'd say that. I'd always keep you safe. Laughing slightly to ease the tension. Decided to move the top to something more light. Okay. I smiled. I smiled. I smiled. I don't know if that's good. Maybe you should mix up those replies. What kind of question is that? No, dude, what the fuck? I mean, weird question, but sure, sometimes. No, this. Yeah, that one. When he looked back at you, he gave you a gentle smile, but it slowly fell. You two waited out the heavy rain patiently, eventually sitting against the wall in your own spaces. He scrolled through his phone, as did you, just enjoying each other's company as the wait passed. Oh, is this like the we don't care ending? As soon as it did, as the rain turned into gentle sprinkles, he checked his phone for the time inside. It's getting hella late, huh? I guess I should drive you back home. You looked up at him. Shit, you're right. Evan stood and brushed his clothes off and nodded his head for you to follow him back towards the pathway to the entrance of the cemetery. What about the rest of the stuff? Evan glanced over his shoulder and shook his head. I'll come clean it later. Let's just worry about getting you home for now. Oh, he didn't even give us snacks. You nodded in agreement and followed him down the path back to the entryway of the cemetery. Finally back in his car, he opened his door and got in. It was like he was lost in thought. He took it as a sign to get in as well and finally settled with... He's gonna kill us. Settled with a sigh. You're glad the rain stopped so soon. Day was getting weirder and weirder by the second. As he relaxed, he took out a long switchblade, and placed it on the control panel before starting up the car. Did you always have that? He clicked in his seatbelt, looking at the switchblade, then at you. Yeah, keep it on me in case anything bad happens. Making his way out of the parking lot, he didn't really talk for the rest of the ride. He was just thinking. His face looked like it carried regret, like lost opportunity. But he was still polite and spoke occasionally for the sake of things not being awkward. Arrived at your place, and you got out of the car to watch you walk in. Thanks for the date and driving me home. Yeah, of course. Rain was a killer, though. Glanced down at your rain-dampened clothing. The rain never killed anyone. I guess you're right. Well, tonight was nice, Clock. I'll let you get inside and get settled. Smiled and nodded, turning on your heel and walked inside your place. After that, you two barely talked, just here and there, but it never really went any further than that, neither did the connection. Even when you two did see each other in person, it felt as if you were looking at the perfect mask. Did push one day, however, asking what was wrong. But when you did, he had nothing more to say other than a small laugh and... Don't know. You're just kind of boring sometimes, you know? And so you left it at that. Ending for 1 out of 4, you bored me to death. To be contondered. That has a continuation? Okay, well now I kind of want to see what the last ending is, because we're missing one thing, and I feel like it's got to be like the perfect ending, right? Because it's ending 4 out of 4, so maybe you got to make him like super interested in you, okay? Because that was boring. We got the he hates you ending, and then we also got the we got the boring ending, and then we also got the like he kind of likes you, like you're interesting enough ending. So I'm assuming you have to be like super interesting. Yeah, I love lo-fi, bro. No, I don't. Actually, hell yeah, I like how you think. I like your energy. I think it's romantic. Blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna be skipping through this. I'm sorry, okay? It's flirting, okay? Give a bashful smile. Change my mind when you say it like that. Oh, you don't mean it like that? You giggled. Yeah, great date idea. Just us and a bunch of dead people. Take his hand. I assume that taking his hand is the right thing. Damn, that's kind of cool, honestly. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool being a Satanist. Water sounds... Oh, what would you pick, maybe? And then water, gotta stay hydrated. I don't know if that's a good option, but I'll choose that, okay? What's your go-to? What's your go-to? Yvonne pretends to think, but barely hides the answer. Sweet stuff, always. Sweet candies, pastries, anything like that. He grins, tapping one of the pastry boxes. People expect me to go for the sour, bitter stuff, but nah. Huh, didn't take you for a sweets guy. You'd be surprised what a guy who works with corpses craves. You work with what now? Pastries you baked? I have to judge you, bro. Yeah, I have to. Okay. You're like a hot Grim Reaper, bro. Okay, wouldn't you like to know, Grave Boy? I feel like I'm picking the right options here. Okay. I don't think you're so bad. Abnormal is refreshing. This. I think this is one I don't know, so I don't think you're so bad. Abnormal is refreshing. Your eyes soften to a gaze, lips curving ever so slightly. It even blinks at you, almost suspicious of your kindness. Studies your face as you're trying to find the joke. You seem almost disturbed by your drawn-out words. That's sweet. Dangerous, but sweet. You don't know everything about me, Clock. That kind of trust, it's reckless. But you don't look away, and that unsettles him more than any accusation would. Though he was curious and pitied your poor attempt at flirting. Don't romanticize me. You'll regret it. Maybe I like recklessness. Evan's face softens with a smile. He shakes his head and laughs. Okay, maybe that's a good one. We might have to come back to that one. You mean Casper? His name's not Casper. It's Grimace. Hence Grimmy. Okay, we have to go through the options of friends. You have to pick them all. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Wow, you have friends? Interesting. No, damn, that's intense. You really don't hold back, huh? I'm gonna have to pick that one. I like that. I like that. Wait, okay. I think it's I like that, and then... I've got neither. Yeah, he liked that. He liked that a lot by us not having anything, okay? I feel like smiling and interest is a good thing here, but I'll also save on this. Okay. Skip. 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 I think this one. I think this one. Smiled at the honest answer. Okay, I like that. Here we go. Here we go, baby. New ending. When he looked back at you, there seemed to be more rings in his eyes, much more than before. They were still steady, however, so maybe you were imagining things. A wide smile sat on his face. Don't call him Casper. That's so fucking rude, man. You know, Clock, I really, really enjoyed spending time with you tonight. So did I. With me. Evan giggled and sighed, looking at you with something like relief. You just seemed to really listen, and I was happy to hear about your life as well, you know. I don't get to open up much without being judged. I like that about you, Clock. You don't judge, you listen, even if it was a lot for a first day. You laughed along with him as he pulled you in closer. I didn't mind. It's a good breath of fresh air, kind of, and you're a pretty interesting person. It's great hearing your story, even if it's a bit dark or heavy. I'm glad you think so. You two stared into each other's eyes, his grip around your waist tightening slightly. Not saying a word, you just focused on the other's face, an inch apart. Didn't know what made you gravitate towards him. Maybe it was the mystery. Maybe you just liked standing so close to something dangerous. Your heartbeat raced. You didn't understand why, but the feeling was there. You must have caught on to your thoughts because even though you weren't expecting it, it was what you wanted. Deep down, even if you tried to deny it, he seemed to know. He gently pulled you in, making your heart pound so loud you were sure he could hear it. Then all at once he caught your mouth in his, reckless and trembling. Your eyes shot open in shock. At first, the kiss was gentle and soft like a first crush, innocent even. Oh god, the horny's back, the horny's back! You melted into it, closing your eyes and letting it continue, the feeling devouring you whole. But it shifted, it grew hungry. His lips crashed harder against yours, pressing you back against the cold stone. Hey, oh my god! He's French?! Your lips parted, letting him in. His trembling hand slid up your jaw, pulling you in deeper. Clock. Your name left his lips in a gasp, kiss becoming messy and frantic, bordering desperation and near obsession. And with that, half of the chat has already forgotten once again that he kills cats. Maybe he was dying already. His heated breath brushed rugly against your skin as the kiss deepened with his hunger, making your breath catch. It was feverish the way his teeth bit your lips, demanding further entrance. It was as if he wanted to eat you alive. When he pulled away, he was breathing hard, a shaky breath escaping him. They did. The rings in his eyes pulsed rapidly bright in the dim light. Fuck. You caught your breath as he stared at your face. Clock, I really like you. I really like you too, Avon. Avon's face darkened, the smile widened in a way that didn't settle right in your chest.
Wow.
Yeah. He nodded slowly, still drunk off the heated kiss. Is this the kidnapping ending? Oh, yeah, okay. I'd like to keep you, Clock, to myself. Forever. You wouldn't have to worry about a thing anymore. I'd take care of you and you wouldn't even have to lift a single finger. Ever. A hitch of his breath passed his throat, giddy but real. The world doesn't need you. Doesn't deserve you. Heat rose to your face at his words. Keep me? Forever? Like date? No. Confusion washed over you. Didn't he just confess? No. Confess to a crime? No, but didn't you just say you liked me? I did say that, didn't I? That's why I'm so sorry for this, Dove. I'm just simply never letting you go. You tried to ask another question, but the sudden sharp pain in your back caused you to gasp for air, making your legs freeze and paralyze. Oh, I thought he was going to put us in a cage. Okay. You looked below you, blood pooling directly beneath your feet. Huffing and clinging reflexively onto the man in front of you, Avon pushed his long switchblade deeper into your spine, into your body. Thousands of questions flooded your mind as shock and fear suddenly filled your senses. You tried to scream, but as Avon pulled his blade out, blood filled your throat, choking you. Clutching desperately onto your chest, you staggered and nearly fell before Avon caught you. Shh. You're already making such a mess, my dove. Your eyes locked with his, focusing on his handsome face as you gripped onto your last breaths of life. His eyes pulsed rapidly at your desperation, giving him a rush of adrenaline and overwhelming love. Avon unlocked your tight hands from his shirt and held them lovingly, smiling as the life slowly drained from your eyes. He was smiling. Tears well up as unconsciousness threatens to take you. His breath quickened as he held you, thumb wiping your tears away. You're right. I did say I liked you. But no, I feel a lot more than that. I love you, Clock. He grinned, bringing your now heavy, lolling head to his placing a single kiss on your lips. This time he didn't close his eyes, no. His eyes burned into yours the whole time as your life slowly slipped away and you were nothing more than an empty husk. Nice knife. Ah, he's flat. Pulling away, he allowed your body to drop to the ground and wiped off his lips. Looking around the entry of the mausoleum, he sighed heavily. Fuck. I have to clean this. A week had passed now, and Avon had successfully gotten rid of all evidence connected to your death. It's part of his profession, after all. What kind of criminal would he be otherwise? Got rid of everything, but not of you. No, he kept you. And he planned to for as long as possible. That is what he promised, right? I told you, chat. I told you what he does to the bodies. He kept your body cold, slowing the decaying process of the morgue. The same morgue connected to the cemetery you died at. You were an amazing listener. You just got him. One of the many things that made him like you so much. But with that, you easily let your guard down. Oh, I like this outfit. He liked that. He liked easy targets like you. He spoke to you at times, told you about his day, ranted about co-workers, and practiced his studies, all between him completing his assigned work with autopsies and embalmings through his day-to-day. There were only 2 cameras throughout the entire building, one at the front and another where the money was held. Awful security. Neither of which he passed through during his day-to-day, and given his time there, no one really questioned the presence of another body or two. Evan sighed as he glanced over at your body on the autopsy table. He dressed you nicely and kept you looking well. I feel like that's so not true, but also okay. Kept you looking well, taking care of you just as he said he would. Also, they do actually put a lot of cameras in the autopsy rooms and stuff because, yeah, men tend to be disgusting. Just like a doll. Oh, good CG! Taking off his gloves, he held your rigid body against the wall and laid his arms along the metal table. Are you excited for tonight, Clock? Of course you couldn't respond, you were dead. We're going to celebrate. He giggled and held your hand, massaging the stiff limb from its cold state. I decided to take you for dinner. There's a small restaurant I rented out in the outskirts of town. Don't you worry about any pesky cameras. They won't find you. With a gentle kiss to your hand, he grinned to himself. If they do, which they won't, you'll be already cremated in food for fish at the bottom of the lake. What, you're getting rid of me? He giggled to himself. Imagine that looking for a pile of ashes. He stared into your closed eyes and sighed, letting go of the cold limb. Don't look at me like that. It's not happening anytime soon. Avon couldn't help but lean in, bringing his fingers to lift and close your eyelids. Dolly. He closed in and swept your eyes down once more with a single finger. Dolly. Avon couldn't help stop himself from lifting each of your arms up and swinging them back and forth, same way a child would do to a life-size doll. With a childish giggle, he nuzzled his nose against your empty husk. He hummed at his own antics and straightened with that same sickening smile. I'll get the car ready. Oh. The ride was long and the car was kept freezing cold. But you two eventually made it, him and you, or well, your corpse. Brother is not listening to any. Nia, what is his favorite food? What is his favorite drink, Nia? Bro's gooning to the picture. He doesn't even know what the picture likes. He sat across from you and smiled as he drank his champagne slowly. God, this is fun, isn't it? I don't know. He said it like 3 times. Just you and I. Not a camera in sight in this place. He's a weirdo. The fact that he killed you and turned you into a doll, that's what made you go, he's a weirdo. You know, I think I have some bad people in my chat. I think there's some bad people in my chat. What the fuck? He enjoyed his food, speaking with you, asking you questions. It was a truly one-sided conversation. But he smiled happily, enjoying his time with you, even if you were dead. Yeah, that's definitely not champagne. Drinking the rest of the champagne, he tilted his head. Maybe it's flavored. Oh, Clock, you hardly touched your food. He sat up, grabbed his coat, and pulled it over his shoulders. Walking over to your side of the table, he leaned over to your ear and whispered as if you could ever hear him. Chat has low media literacy? I think chat's just horny AF, man. But it's not like you ever could, huh, Clock? He grinned, eyes pulsing maniacally. He wasn't delusional, of course. He knew you were dead. But he fully intended to make every moment that much more fun for himself. You really are like a doll, Dove. He giggled, eyes becoming half-lidded as his nerves calmed. Come on, let's go home. Oh, okay. Ending 4 out of 4. I love you to death. Oh, okay, we did get all the endings of the demo. That's just chapter 1. That's gonna keep going. I can't imagine how fucked up that's gonna keep going to be. But I had fun with it. I had fun. I hope you guys don't mind that I poked fun at him. I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't like Avon. This stuff, not really my kink, you know? I like Yandere stuff, but this isn't really Yandere. This is more like just like... This is a lot further than that, and it's just not my thing. No, you're good. The cat thing really cemented it. It just laid it over. There's no justification, man. There's... The cruelty he has shown that he is capable of, you know? That's my line. The cat! Well, obviously everything else was obviously over, but, you know, Yandere stuff is usually a little different. This stuff is more like, it's like quite literally if you went to date a serial killer, you know, like an actual serial killer, you know. Yes, Nia, we know. Nia, we know. We know. His personally was a big red flag, but I like the art style and outfits. Oh, I love the art style. It was amazing. That is like one of the cutest emo femboys I've ever seen, okay? Amazing femboy design. I can't believe it. Honestly, when I played this game, nobody mentioned that he was a femboy, but he literally looks like a hot girl. Like, I don't know what to say, man. It's crazy. You know, CGs were yummy for sure. Oh yeah, and this is just a demo. The artist is cracked, man. Author and artist are cracked. They went crazy, and they really wanted to make this as detailed as possible. I actually think this is a great showing of what a demo should be for visual novels. They did everything right, by the way. They literally did everything right, okay? You have the character right in your face in the first like 5 minutes, you know. The first 5 minutes I can see the character right away. Super important for getting people interested in your game, you know. Flirting already right from the get-go, super important. You got to make that character look like he actually likes you. It's way easier for people to fall in love with a character that's flirting with them, right? So if you're an aspiring game dev, I would say, you know, obviously you can cut out what you want. You can make your character as freaky as you want. But just on a pure, like, development standpoint, I would say this is, like, one of the perfect demos. It doesn't even have to be this long, but the demo is packed with CGs, impactful choices, different routes that actually matter. And the best thing, just seeing the character and him being very in your face right at the start. I think that's really important. I think a lot of developers kind of forget about that. See, I think the strongest thing was the developer for this game basically said, fuck the backstory. We're getting right into the date. Like, we don't need to see all this exposition. Just put us right in the date. And that's really important. I think people forget that a lot. So I hope for future visual novel devs, they kind of learn from a demo like this. It is currently blowing up on itch. It's a really popular game. I'm actually really late to playing it. So I'm sorry about that. I know a couple people requested me to play it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super into him. Like I said, I'm not a fan of like murderer stuff. I don't know. Like I'm not a huge fan of that sort of thing. It's like what are like some famous killer? It's too real. It's too realistic to like famous killers. Like it's not romanticized, you know? So, it's just not for me personally. It's like, and it's not really. I think the cuteness kind of stopped after the cemetery date. Like it kind of stopped right after that. I kind of liked it up until that point. I'm more of a wholesome kind of guy. But even in the Yandere games, usually Yanderes are like very sweet. He's not a Yandere. Like, very important to note. Maybe you could kind of stretch him into that, but he's just a straight up serial killer. Like, he's just a psychopath. Like, that's what I would argue he is, just straight up. Like Yandere or not, like, it's very much like, you could argue, you could turn it into one, but like, he's not in love with you. You have to make him fall in love with you, you know? Like, he's just a psycho killer. Like, he's just a psychopath, you know? First and foremost. I think so too, but the first date trauma dump is ew. Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, obviously he was planning on killing you, so. Hmm. Yeah, I agree. But you know, everyone's different. You know, they're like women and men who send like love letters to like murderers in prison. So I feel like this is definitely like up their alley. Also, you know, it's all fiction, so I'm not gonna hate. You know, it's fiction. As long, you know, it's not real. This character's not real. So I mean, it doesn't really matter if you love him or not. You know, it's just for me. It's enough to make me go, oh, I'm not interested anymore. I got the ick. You know. So that's it for me. You know. But for you guys, I don't mind playing it, and it was interesting. Like I like the scary endings, like the deaths. They were actually really interesting too. Um, I would take his knife and do myself in. After that trauma dump, I'd just say, "Kill me now." Oh, look, if you're not gonna kill me in the next 10 seconds, buddy, I'm gonna do myself in. Okay. The art for the blood was great. Yeah, it's really, really great. I think it's top notch. And the writing was pretty decent too. Some of the writing was a little funny. Some things were like a little. I do think that this person's native language isn't English. If it is, I'd be a little surprised, I guess. But, or maybe they're just a young person, like, as a writer. But, some things were very, like, a little, like, like, really? Like, one of the most surprising things was, like, how much, like, he's, like, 25, he's doing his master's degree, yet they're attending college parties. No offense, but you have to be a massive loser to be going to a college party with, like, college kids. Even if you're doing your master's. If you're doing your master's degree, I'm guaranteeing you, you don't live at the campus anymore. You don't, like, you, and like, you'd have to be a massive loser to still be that guy, and everyone would know you as that old guy who's still going to the parties, okay? You yourself are also a character that's, like, Like, I don't even know your age. They're like, you've been working for like a long time, but yet you're in community college, which is totally understandable. But then, like, for some reason, you're also attending community, like, college parties because of like friends. But like, you're attending college parties, but you're also like going to speed dating and like dating on Tinder. Like, so some stuff is very like, okay, but obviously it's not, there's not much detail into it. Like, the author was very clearly like, this is just like whatever, so we can just have an excuse to meet him, so that's perfectly fine. I just think it could be a little better. I feel so tired from parties, so much extrovert energy. I don't think it's that, it's just those are not your peers, okay? That's what I'm gonna say. You're like 25 and you go to a college party with like a bunch of 20-year-olds fresh in school. Like, no, those are not your peers, okay? You'll know. I'm a 67 for him. Not funny. You ruined it. You ruined it. You ruined it. Not funny. Anyways. Anyways, thank you. I liked it. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see which endings go a lot further. I'm not sure. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, YouTube. I really appreciate it. If you could clock that like button and subscribe, it'd help me out a lot. And with that, I am clocking out. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more freaky visual novels, this is probably one of the freakiest ones I've played, to be honest. I'm freaked out. They out-freaked me, okay? To be fair, your boy loves horror. I love horror. But I don't want that mixed in. No. Self-introspection? He's not far enough, okay? The problem is, he's not monster. He's a human. If he was a monster, then I would be down for that. But he's just a human. He's just a really big, edgy human. So that's why I'm not interested. There we go. Perfect. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, everybody. See you later. Peace out. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.